Hey, hey, hey.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Always talking my shit. Ashley, you got a condom in your pocket when you come home, baby. You are sloppy.
Rihanna,
I'm
think you want to
pregnant.
shit. Why? All of her was up. I'm still single. What about you?
Sabrina.
I need more controversial friends.
That's crazy though. That's just like, I don't even know.
I'm gonna need y'all to comment, like, subscribe. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back.
Hello.
Official ATMS. Always talking my shit with
Ashley.
Tiana. Melanie.
and Sabrina. We have guests today. Woo! If you guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves, name, age, and relationship status.
Okay, I guess I'll start. My name is Jazz. I'm 28 and I am single until married.
I am Leslie. I am 33 and relationship pending.
I like these answers. It leaves a lot of conversation starters. So how's everyone's week going?
It's going good. Well, it's the beginning of the week, technically.
How's everyone's weekend going?
I'm
Trash.
tired. I'm very tired.
I'm fully energized.
Are you?
I will
Yeah.
be when we're
I don't
done
wanna
with this
know.
and I take my pre-workout.
I did not do anything, okay?
No.
The god of sex, huh?
Wow.
Tiana, why they be doing you like that?
They just love to just blast me.
Hey, you guys blast us too.
But it ain't about sex.
Well, because that's not my life.
It's not my life.
That was a subtle one.
Just walk around like, oh, sex. Yeah.
No, just energized.
Yeah, so Ashley had some good questions we were talking about last night. You want to start?
Do I?
You
Let
want to
me
see what you got?
see.
Yeah, girl.
I do have. Let's see. Okay. So let's see. How do you feel about OnlyFans? Since you guys are single, is that something you would do? I know you guys. You are an entrepreneur, have your own business. What do you do?
What do you do again?
What do you do? You guys are actually both in the beauty industry.
Yeah, so I'm in product development for beauty.
You guys should drop some subtle facts.
The makeup scientist.
Look at her, she's all intrigued now.
They actually have more in common than we think.
Yeah.
I know, same city.
Yeah, peaks before we started. but we didn't
Exactly.
really know.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What company do you do that for?
For Benefit Cosmetics.
I used to work at Benefit.
Did you? I develop all of our eyebrow products.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
That's why your eyebrows are on fleek.
Thank you.
But yeah, how do you guys feel about the OnlyFans and the woman and being single?
Like, what do you guys think about women who make that their, their job, their primary income? You guys have an opinion on that?
I'm all for it. Like, make your money however you want to make your money. As long as you're doing what you want to do on your own terms, like, who's to say that you can't make a buck that
So
way?
you think selling your body?
I mean, if that's the life that you choose,
Because
yeah.
it's a form of prostitution
For sure.
in my eyes.
For sure. I think it all depends on what you're doing on OnlyFans too. I mean, there's levels to it, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
but I mean, if you're comfortable with what you're doing and you're proud of what you're doing, make your money.
Make that money. Don't let it make you.
Exactly.
So, do you think that being on OnlyFans as a single woman in this generation trying to find a man, do you think that's holding people back from finding a good man?
I mean, based off of the men these days, yeah, a little bit. I think there's just so much stigma on women who do sell their body for money, who do sex work. But at the end of the day, like, it's their life. Like, we don't look at dudes and, doing what they want to do, but they're allowed to do it on their own terms. So why can't women do the same? I mean, if they're able to find somebody who supports them with that, that's amazing. But I don't think that should scare somebody away from a relationship.
Interesting. So the stigma behind it, do you think that it's, like, false? Like, do you think the stigma behind it isn't accurate?
I don't think it's inaccurate. I think people have their own views on it, whether it be negative or positive. But like I said, I think you should do whatever you feel like doing with your body.
Is that for all sex work or just OnlyFans?
I think it's all sex work. All sex work. As long as you're being safe, as long as you're being smart, you know what I mean, and everything is on your terms, I'm all about it, it's not the life I choose personally, but if that's what you want to do, it's not the life that I choose for me.
Let me find out you found that coochie girl.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. But that being said, like, if I had the balls, if I felt like I had the body, if I felt like I had the means to do it, I would absolutely do it. I don't have the confidence and I don't have the nerve. But if I did, shit.
So it's not necessarily morals that are stopping you. If someone were to see it immoral, it's just the fact that you're not confident in that industry.
Yeah, but it's also not. I personally wouldn't do it just because I personally don't want to make my money that way. But
why?
again,
Okay, so why?
I feel like my body is something that I want to share with the people that I want to share it with.
So it is
like,
morals.
It is morals. It is morals. For me personally, I would never want the whole world to see what I have on display. But if I wanted to, if times was hard, do what you got to do to make your money.
What do you think?
So as far as OnlyFans, I feel like being a single woman today, I definitely would not do OnlyFans. But to the women that are doing that, I feel like that's a job. And sometimes people will categorize them as like a bad person for doing that. And sometimes that's probably just their form of income. And they're probably a completely different person outside of that. And then as far as the whole man situation, I feel like OnlyFans or not, who's even getting a man at this point? Like, OnlyFans or not, like, they low-key damn near want the OnlyFans type of women, but then again, it's like, I don't know if they do or not. I feel like it's just up in the air. The dating pool is crazy, OnlyFans or not, if you think about it. Our hoes winning,
that is
I don't
true.
know.
That is true.
I don't know.
That is
you
true.
know?
That is
so
true.
it's like, the whole man thing, that's just fucked up, period. Like, so,
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think she has a point with the men suck these days anyways. So why not sell your shit? But I mean, I'm not gonna do it just because there's no fucking way. But I mean, I get that. I definitely get it. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it takes away from being able to get a man because I feel like some of them women damn near still be having a man, and then it's like I don't know if it's their man, if it's somebody else's man, but it's a man. I don't know.
What if the guy doesn't know? Like, what happens if you have an OnlyFans and you meet someone who doesn't have an OnlyFans, so he doesn't know that you have one, and you guys are like the best relationship ever. He's a great guy, and he's like, oh my gosh, I can't stand girls that have OnlyFans. You're like, oh, shoot.
That's awkward.
Like,
I think that should be a discussion like the first day.
Yeah, well, I mean, if some people will be like, oh, I'm an OnlyFans girl. They keep it on the low.
Yeah, they don't really say nothing.
I feel like a majority of people are out there with it, though.
How do you in the bio? How do you get all your fans?
Exactly. How do you not?
Without exposing yourself.
Finstas? I don't know. People do what they do.
It's to your face or whatever you sell.
Well, you guys might have met in person, and he probably just didn't know because he's not on your social media, so he didn't know you did it or something.
Well, then you're just being a liar.
Yeah. Basically. Then that turns into your.
But are you going to be embarrassed to tell him like, hey, yeah, by the way, I have an OnlyFans?
I mean, I feel like if you're fans, you should not be.
Yeah. If you're in that industry, you should not be embarrassed.
Yeah, you already checked that off the list, like that you don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't sneak and do OnlyFans unless you have like one of those ski masks on or something.
Or selling feet pics.
It's funny because you guys know that I don't know if she was a rapper, but that Whoa Vicky girl. So she's been saved and she gave her life to Christ or whatever, but she kept her OnlyFans up and she goes on there and she like preaches the word of God and she gets subscribers and then she like tricks them like boom. At least that's what I heard.
Gotcha.
That's the thing too, though. Like,
gotcha. We're here for Jesus.
OnlyFans isn't just for sex work.
Yeah.
Right.
Like people
I've
use
seen
it for
fitness.
other stuff.
I've seen fitness OnlyFans.
But I mean, I think it is though, because even if they're putting other stuff on there, people that are subscribing are thinking they're going to get something else.
True.
Thank you for subscribing for a month.
Yeah, I know, right? It might keep some people after they're like, oh, this is fitness and I like it. I'll just stay on here or whatever. But I doubt they're saying it's not, this is not sex stuff and then doing something else. Like,
Personally, though, I would never do an OnlyFans. I was going to say sex work. I would never do that.
I mean, it is
but
sex work.
Okay.
I would never do anything that's selling my body parts. I mean, feet pics, maybe. If you want little hand pics or something, that would be the furthest I would go.
What about like a sugar daddy then?
But sugar daddy, no. I don't like old people.
What about sugar daddy, no sugar?
If you want to go on like dates, we can go to dinner.
You want to be an escort?
It's not an escort.
Yes, it is. That's what an escort is.
So wait, is it?
I feel like there are levels to escorts.
Is there an escort, a sex worker?
I thought
or
an
is there
escort
someone who
was sex work.
There are companies.
And that's it.
Just
But
look good on
like,
the guy's arm.
I feel like an escort is it's a company, but you're paying to have sex with them. I feel like
I'm sure
I could be wrong.
probably be both.
I
It
could be
an
wrong
escort and a
because
prostitute.
I've heard that they have things too where people just want to take you to dinner or whatever because they
that's
just want to spend
escort.
time.
It's escort.
Well, whatever. If I was in my like early 20s, maybe. But I don't like old people, so I don't want you to touch me. I don't, and I'm not really I don't like small talk either. So I wouldn't be a good date.
Yeah.
In your early 20s, a sugar daddy's like 35.
I wouldn't be a good date. So I would have to really let them know, like, look, I really don't want to talk.
Bro, there's this girl on TikTok. She tells these stories. They're called hotels, and she's a sex worker, but she does like the dinner dates and she does the sex work. But the stories, bruh, people are fucking weird.
Yeah, I can't do. See, I would walk out. Like, I gotta go to the bathroom and never come back.
Bruh.
Because people are so weird. I don't want you to. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would not do OnlyFans. I don't know. I guess I do have a little bit of a different opinion as far as like, I just feel like there's something behind sex work that's deeper than just people trying to find a way to get money. Like, I don't think it's just a normal, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just objectify myself and use my body to get money because I absolutely need income. So I think it's deeper than that for most. I'm not saying for all. Maybe there are women who can detach themselves from those thoughts and emotions and really just sell their body and be okay with it. But I do think it's more damaging than anything. And I do think that it affects people's like, I do think that there are men that will be with women who are on OnlyFans, but I think it's less likely. And I think that most women want to get a man. And so I do feel like it can ruin those relationships or stop women from being able to get those relationships. And I think the idea of like, I should be able to do what I want. I'm a woman. I should be able to sell my body. I should basically fuck men anyways. That's just going to end up damaging them later. So I do think that it's not necessarily the best thing for women. No matter how much like sexual liberation or freedom we deserve, I still think it's going to end up damaging them in the long run. So
Yeah.
that's my take.
I mean, I agree.
I definitely think like, obviously I can't stop people from doing what they're doing. So do you get your money how you get it? But I just feel like there is a bigger truth that isn't being said and being told, and it's going to hurt them. And then they're going to have to deal with those consequences. And then it's like, we sat here and we had these, like Leslie said, like, I wouldn't do it because there is a moral compass to that. Well, if there is a moral compass to that, that's something that we should be telling people, like, you know, this can hurt you. Like, this can stop you from having healthy relationships in the future, or this can even put you in danger. Even if you are being safe, like using condoms, you might meet a man that might hurt you in other ways, or you might meet a man you fall in love with and then he uses this against you. Like, there's other ways that it can hurt you too. So it's like, yeah, that's my take.
I think, like you said, it's deeper because even if you tell somebody like, oh, you shouldn't do that, they're gonna be like, well, I got a man and da-da-da-da-da, and I'm just in this. But then it's like, okay, you are dating all these different men, and then things go wrong, and then you're wondering why things are going wrong, and you're not realizing like he don't respect you. You putting your body out there. Why would he respect you?
Yeah.
Well, there is some couples that do OnlyFans together.
I was just going to say,
some
how
of
do you
them
feel about
do.
the men doing the OnlyFans?
Oh, hell
I feel
no.
like that's lame as fuck.
But is that a stigma? Is like okay with women doing it? And
No,
then-
I don't think it's.
I don't think it's okay
it's
for
okay
anybody.
for
But you know how
But
it's
I
more
mean,
accepted.
look
anybody,
at Tiana's response just now. Like, men doing OnlyFans, that's lame as fuck. But women doing OnlyFans, oh, I mean, go girl.
Honestly, I think it's
Go
lame as
girl
fuck
power.
too, but hey, that's what y'all do.
It's kind of like the stripping thing.
Yeah, it's OnlyFans the same as stripping, except for stripping's live.
I mean, I do understand,
Live.
but that goes back to also what Leslie was saying when Leslie was like, you know, why are men able to go and do how they want to do and then girls can't? Okay, but then we're clearly saying men and women are different. So there are things that men can do that women can't. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Period.
I just actually, you know what? I watched a podcast, No For Sure podcast this week. And they had, I can't remember his name, but it was some like life coach guy on there or whatever. And he was saying like, we need to stop thinking that there aren't things that women can do and there aren't things that men can do. Like it needs to stay broken up. These are men things and these are women things.
So selling your body is a woman thing.
It's a both thing, but it's stupid for both.
It is a both thing, but I think that you're gonna find more women doing it. So it is gonna be more of a woman thing. Like, think about before OnlyFans and before like sex work became normalized, prostitutes were all women.
Yeah.
You didn't go on the street to go pick up a hooker and it was a man.
What is it, the red light district for men?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
But I think that right there even proves the point of like, you know,
Women sell sex.
well, yeah, women sell sex, but it just women gatekeep sex, men gatekeep relationships.
Yep.
So women are able to tell you or are able to pick who they have sex with because more than likely any man you chose to have sex with, they're gonna have sex with you. But men gatekeep relationships because they're the ones that are gonna say whether they're committed or not.
Facts.
That's crazy.
Actual facts.
But okay, so with that, this wasn't even on my list. So, but since we were talking about this, then does body count matter now?
If you're a sex worker.
Now, I mean now as far as like with this conversation, because we've had this conversation before. So I'm saying it like for everyone, but
I think if you're
well,
not
let's go this way so that they can get.
Are we referring to body count for men, women, or both or what?
Or you can break it up. You can say yes or no for both. Or?
I mean, honestly, I'm like a really neutral person and a realist. I just feel like nowadays, the world we're living in, no, I don't think it matters anymore. I don't know. It's just all bad now.
So if the man of your dreams comes to you,
Sorry, go ahead. I'll let you go.
and you find out he's fucked 1,000 women, that's not going to turn you off?
The man of my dreams?
Yes.
Wait, I'm gonna let you think about that real
The man
quick.
of my dream.
Her dreams would have 1,000.
Wait, because I want to break up. I want
He
to
could have
break.
been a hoe all throughout his 20s. Now he wants to settle down. He's perfect.
But I
And-
want to break down what she answered first. I'll let you answer that. But when she answered the question, she said, "No, it doesn't matter now because the world is fucked up." So in reality, it matters, but the world is fucked up, so it's not mattering. Is that what you're saying? You can answer her question first.
Okay.
She's like, wait, I got two questions.
Sorry.
So going to this, one thing I want to say about that is my dad always told me, and I've told a couple of my clients about this, but my dad has always said like 95% of men cheat. There's a percentage out there that doesn't, but for the most part, they all do.
Right.
So he kind of just fucked my head up. So in my mind, it's almost just kind of like, well, shit, like, aren't they all hoes? But they might not all be hoes. I don't know. So the man of my dreams, if he told me, hopefully he wouldn't even tell me that because I don't even know how I react to that. 1,000? Did he catch anything? I don't know.
That's the main question.
Did you catch something?
Did you catch something that's threatening?
No comment. Okay, and then what were
So
you saying?
basically, you just don't want to know. That's what it is. You don't care to know.
Yeah.
If you're playing me, keep it on the low.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, and then I was asking, like, the way you answered the question, it was kind of like it does matter, but we're in a generation where it doesn't. So
Yeah, I feel like when I was growing up, that was a big deal. It mattered. Super embarrassing if the body count was over a certain amount. But I just feel like today, now, I don't feel like anybody cares.
so it's like
anymore.
getting normalized.
It's starting to get normalized, unfortunately.
So
Yeah.
if a man asked you your body count, would you lie?
No.
Would you tell him?
You would tell him?
Yeah, but it's like, who's asking that?
Yeah.
There's people
Yeah.
asking that?
Yeah.
I mean, some maybe.
I feel like, yeah.
I feel like for the most part, guys don't really want to know. And if they ask, they're going to assume you're lying anyway.
So I'm gonna say this.
So childish.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this. Men don't necessarily ask like that, but they will judge. Like, men know.
Yeah.
Like, I named a girl yesterday in the garage. We had this body count conversation, and I named a girl's name, and I said, "We don't know her body count, but we know it's above
than
and
10.
beyond."
How did you know?
We just well, I
know.
wasn't even there, but
You know who I'm
sure
talking
they just-
about. Like, it's just how they move. It's stories you've heard. It's guys in the area that have said they've hit. It's you walk in the room and they're whispering and talking. Like, it's guys, no, because me and my husband had the conversation, and he was saying that it didn't matter, and I was like, and he was like with you, I never asked you. So he thinks because he didn't ask me, body count doesn't matter. But I said, if I had 100, a body count of 100, And he was like, I wouldn't even be with you. So then it matters. So it's like, you're not asking, but you're going to know.
Yeah, they don't ask. But also, too, when they meet you or whatever, they ask people about you. You know what I mean? So that I think that's the part of them knowing or not knowing part. Like, they don't want to know the exact number. You know what I mean? But when he met you, he's like, oh, she's not from out here. So he knows automatically nobody's that he knows has messed with you.
That's all that matters.
It's less than
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing too, is when you have when women have high body counts and men have heard stuff, may not know the count. Once they hear something, they don't want to be with anybody who's been with people they know. That's the biggest thing. So high body count is more of a risk of that. So that's the point. Yeah. So you guys can go ahead and answer now and
Wait. Does body count matter, right? Yeah. Okay, go Ash.
Body count, woman, yes. For men, no. I'm not really ever going to ask a man. But I was going to add, though, too, it's crazy because there's two different types of men, right? There's men who really care about the body count, and there's men who'll be like, I want a woman with experience. So she has to have at least 10 bodies, which is actually kind of disgusting.
I don't want that man.
I don't want that man either. But
your requirement is.
I've seen so many tweets about like at this whole body count thing, and there will be men out here like, no, I want my woman to have experience.
Why? Well, you can just show her the ropes.
So it's actually in the garage last night, one of our friends said that too. He said he said I would not wife somebody with a high body count, but I would have sex with them because they know how to suck a mean dick. So he was like, yeah, I'll.
Who the fuck said that?
Damn.
He was like, so yeah, if she has a high body count. You left already.
Yeah.
I was up till 2. So he was like, yeah, if she has a high body count, she knows what she's doing. So yeah, I'm gonna experience that. He's like, but I'm not wifing her. Yeah. So like, I agree with you, but I don't think they're wifing those girls.
Yeah,
right.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Not at all. For me, wait, were you done? Mm-hmm. For me, I think I'm kind of like the men. I don't want to know how many women you've been with. But it also like, I kind of know if you've been around, like if you've messed with hella girls that I know, and that would bother me. Yeah. So I'm kind of like that.
Yeah, I'm basically co-signing. Literally co-sign. I think my experience is different because, I mean, my body count is very low. Very, very, very low.
I love that for you.
I did not start having sex until my late 20s.
What?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
that's amazing.
Late 20s.
That's really good.
Were you saving yourself for marriage?
I wasn't. I just, growing up, I just never dated anybody that I felt was worth it. I was like, for what?
You.
Like, for what? You know what I mean? So,
and you went to Deer Valley, right?
I went to Deer Valley.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. So, like, so when guys ask me, they're always, like, hella shocked, and they don't, I forget who said it, but, like, they usually don't believe me. Yeah. And I'm like, I mean, I have nothing to lie about. Like, I really don't care. Yeah. So, but to what you were saying, like, if I know he's been around, that kind of turns me off a little bit. But at the same time, I just don't want to know. Like, I don't need to know a number. I don't care to know a number whatsoever.
Yeah.
I also do not want to know. Because I have been with somebody that was a whore. And after not being with them anymore, finding out how much of more of a whore than I knew that they were a whore literally makes me sick to my stomach till this day. Yeah. Like, you really fucked everybody around me. Like, that is fucking disgusting. Yeah. Like, before me, during me, after me, like, you just would, like, put your thing in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Name that movie.
I think it makes a difference if they like.
I know it. I just
who they were.
God.
Yeah, I think
That's in basketball.
that's definitely the biggest thing is like when you know the people they've slept with, or like I just think that's out of pocket.
Because I'm very honest. So if we're in the middle of a conversation and we're talking about like past stuff and hearing stories, because I have experienced this recently, and I'm just like, did I really want to know that? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, I also know that this was a million years ago, and I also know that you were in college and you weren't a whore, though. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I just don't want to know.
Don't tell me nothing.
But to go back to what Leslie was saying about when we were talking about sex work, and you kind of made the comparison between men and women, like, you know, men do things, and so when women do it, we get basically shit on, and that's not right in the sense of like we shouldn't, like it should be, I guess, equal or whatever, but really it's not. That's just the reality of the world. So like, how do you guys feel about the difference with that? Like, obviously we know it's more likely men will have more bodies, and it's more likely that we will still be with them even if we don't want to know. So there is a part there that's not fair. And how do you guys feel about that? Like, do you think it should be fair? Do you think that we should hold men to the same standards?
No.
I think where it's hard to answer that question, because I think where the difference is, men can just fuck anything and not have any emotion. We technically can't. I mean, I know I can't. So if I have sex with somebody and never talk to them again, it's like, fuck, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Or I would feel like shit.
Wasted.
Like I just wasted my coochie on you. Like I could have used that for somebody else.
Right. I don't think that it should be fair. I feel like if a man, if I told a man what my body count was and he was like, yeah, nah, I can't, and I'd be like, that's fair. Like, that's what you want. You have a preference in your head, what you want for your wife or whatever you want to deal with. That's fine.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't think that, I feel like people should stop trying to make stuff equal.
Okay, well, wait. Off that question, why do you think that men are taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men?
Trauma.
That's a good question.
I feel like a lot of our parents, sorry, mama, I know you're going to get mad. But a lot of our parents weren't in good, healthy relationships.
Period.
Did any of your parents teach you how to treat men?
I don't
Like a long pause, crickets.
Yeah. I don't think my mom straight out said, like, this is how you should be treating a man in a relationship. I think because my parents are still married, like, going on 40 something years, which is rare. Like, they were the example. So like, I see how my mom, by common sense, I see how my mom treats my dad. I've seen what she's done for him throughout the years, and that in itself is my example of how I would want to treat my husband.
I think I think so. My mom, she'll give me like advice, and she'll tell me, like, because my friends and my family know how I can either overthink stuff or just be too emotional, or, you know, try to cut people off really quick. So she'll try to like coach me through that part and be like, you know, you don't always have to cut them off right away, or, you know, you can be a little lenient with them, or like, you know, stuff like that. So she definitely does. I don't know if it's how to treat a man, but like, I don't know the like phrase for it.
Just giving you advice.
Yeah, she'll give me advice on, like, I guess how to keep a
Do you
relationship.
feel like women are coached to treat men?
No, that's what I was gonna say too. Because like as a child, men are taught by like their fathers or even their moms, like, no, you open the door for the woman. This is what you do.
I think it comes naturally for us.
Yeah, but it comes naturally. But like how Leslie was saying too, we need that example. We're not taught it necessarily, and they don't say what we have to do, but we have to visually see it. Like, oh, I see my mom doing this
that's
for
why
my dad.
My mom is mean. She's not mean to my dad though.
See,
She loves that
she's
man.
teaching you, Melanie.
You're not paying
I don't have a
attention.
man, so I'm not. If I did, I wouldn't be mean to him.
You know what? I think in America, we're like taught by example. Like, we see the example of our parents, and I think that the men do focus more on, okay, this is how you treat a lady. But I think in other cultures, they're actually being taught how to treat their men.
They are.
In America, though, is not doing that.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of where I was going with it, because the question, when it was stated, it kind of like blew my mind, because I'm like, I never thought, like, we literally see men being taught how to treat women, but we don't see that with women.
Yeah.
And I do think it's important, and I do believe that example is one of the best ways to teach. So I think that's, for Leslie, I think that's an amazing way to learn. But how many people are in fatherless homes?
Right.
So how are they being taught if they're not being taught?
Yeah.
And even if they see relationships, they're not seeing it on a day-to-day basis. They're not seeing it through the good times, the bad times, the decision-making times, or the conversation times. So it's like, are women even being taught to treat men however, in any way, in good, bad, whatever? And then we get into relationships and we expect, but we haven't even been taught how to treat men. So it's like, at what point do we make that like that? We see that there is this big difference on how men are treated and how women are treated. And
I still feel like, how she said, you know, her mom or her parents, it was just her being like seen, like she's seen it. I still feel like the mom should still be like, oh, this is what you need to do for your husband. Like, this, whatever the criteria is. Like, it still should be said.
Yeah, see, and the thing I think with that too is, like, for example, when my mom finally remarried after my dad, because my mom was basically single for from the time her and my dad split when I was 7 until she found my stepdad at 18. So 11 years or whatever, but my whole childhood. And so when I seen her with my stepdad, she would teach me, again, more of by example, but we would have these conversations about things she had to learn because she was single. Yeah. So it's like, I remember one time we had a Bible study and she was cooking. She would cook for the whole family and all the people that were there for the Bible study. And then she like let the kids go get their plates. And my stepdad was like, whoa, like I get my plate first. And he kind of like, not reprimanded my mom, but you know, he kind of had that conversation with her. And I think in the moment she was kind of like embarrassed. So it kind of like made her mad. He didn't do it in front of us, but she told me about it after. But that was a moment where it taught me like, let me make sure my husband gets his plate before everybody else in the house.
I noticed you do that.
Yeah. So I'll be like, Marvin, do you want food? And if he says no, then I'll let
or you'll make him a plate. Even if he doesn't answer you, you'll put it in the microwave.
Yeah. So it's like, I did learn by example, but it was like, there was still never a conversation that's like, this is how you do it, or this is what you should do, or remember to. Because I also think that, again, my mom being single and being in the dating marketplace, like she not that she didn't know how to treat men, because I think my mom is a very submissive, very like, you know, she takes on her role very well as a feminine woman, but she was also learning. So it's like, how can she teach us something that they don't know to teach? But that's obviously a generational like curse. Like, how are we not teaching our women this? Like, how are we not? But men, like we were saying, men are constantly taught, like, do this, protect, make sure that your sister is good, make sure you open the door, make sure you say yes ma'am, no sir. Like, we are teaching our boys this, but not our girls. And that's crazy. That's actually a crazy thing.
But like Jazz said, in other cultures, that's what they're doing. And like that's and what we talk about, the passport
brothers.
I watched that episode, or when you guys were talking about that with your guest. Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's why they go overseas,
right?
So what do you think women are expected to do in their relationships, like to help build relationships? What are women expected to do?
You know,
by men.
I feel like I see so many videos of men talking about what women need to be doing, right? And then I see so many videos of women talking about what men need to be doing and stuff, and then what we don't need to be doing, and it's just really starting to confuse me. 'Cause I'm like, okay, so how am I supposed to be again?
What are the rules?
What are the rules?
Wait. With that, real quick, it's funny because
where's the handbook?
when I have these debates with my husband, usually we're like yelling because we're like saying complete opposite opinions. But he constantly tells me, like, no matter how hard you try, you will never understand. Like, you won't ever get men. Like, you don't know what men want. Yeah. And I'm somebody who does research and watches videos and listens to all these people. So I'm like, I'm not saying that I know, but I'm saying that I'm learning. Like, I'm willing to open up my mind and understand from other people's stories and experiences and point of views. So I'm never going to 100% know what men are thinking or what men want, but I'll go off of whatever data I have, right? And he's like, but then it makes me think, like, okay, well, you'll never know what women want then. So if we're never gonna know,
we're just gonna be walking around clueless.
Yeah, but I think it's just a level of understanding. Like, I don't think that women should shame men for having preferences, for having standards. I don't think, because we'll say, oh, we don't want short men, but men will be like, I don't want a fat woman, and it's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, so we have to let men have those preferences, let men have those standards, let men say, like, this is what we want, and we want our women to be like this. And instead of being like, why I gotta be what you want me to be? I'm an independent woman, I can do what I want. Like, instead of having that attitude, we should really listen and be like, okay, we can do that. Like, as women, we can go to the gym, we can be fit, we could be feminine, we could be kind. Like, I think if we listen to them more, then it wouldn't be so confusing. Yeah. But when we're listening to other women tell us what men want,
absolutely not.
That's where things get all haywire.
Yeah. See, that's where I get confused with myself, because my mom is so independent, but she's still submissive at the same time. So that's hard to watch. Like, you got my dad telling me to be independent and my mom, but they're also like, but be submissive too. I'm like, but how? Right. But my mom does it so easily. But like, I guess they've been together so long, so he just lets her do her thing. But I don't know. She
still respects him though. Huh?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Submissive.
And Shayla,
Jazz is coming in with the gems, but they're like so like little. Yeah, because I just watched a little video I just watched a video, and it was a pastor, and he was in church, and he was saying that the only way that men receive love is respect. All you have to do is respect them. You don't have to, I mean, you do have to do all the other stuff, but that's not how they're getting love. Like, they're not like cooking for them, cleaning for them, raising their kids. That's not loving them. Just respecting them is loving them. And then he made this like big old show. He was like, when the man walks home from work, he wants to hear, "Hello, King. Welcome home, King." So every time Marvin walks in the house now, I'd be like, "Kids, line up. The King is here. The King is here." So I did it for like 2 days, and then by the third day, it fell off. Right. So he walked in. He's like, "Where's
my red carpet treatment?"
And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "The King is here." I was like, "The King is here. The King is here."
The King is here.
I mean, I get that because he just had a long day, like stressful. I think they just want to be like cuddled in a way.
Yeah, like acknowledged too.
I noticed that.
It's the respecting the masculine man. Like, he wants to feel like a man.
Yeah.
But it's funny because men like it in different ways.
Yeah.
Like, men don't always
The King is
want
here.
it to be like a big show type of thing. Like, oh, King this. And like, no, they don't always want it to be
you can
like
still
that.
do things silently. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's food for you in the microwave. I know you're hungry.
I know you're hungry.
So Shayla just texted me because you said about the culture thing. She said her mom does that to her because she's Bosnian. So her mom's been a stay-at-home mom her whole life. She said she asked her when she's over there, like, "Evan's at home. Shouldn't you be at home making him food?" She's like, "Mom, shut the fuck up."
We're in America now, Mom.
I love Shayla's mom. But Leslie, so I was gonna ask, your parents being together, do you feel like you seen your mom be submissive?
Yeah, for sure. So it's funny because I'm an only child. My mom is also an only child. So I'm the only grandchild on her side.
That's tough.
It's wild. It's wild. So I also think there's like some kind of level to this only child situation as well, because I think because we've been catered to so much in our life, we also want to cater to the person who is taking care of us. So it's like almost automatically mutual in the best sense. You know what I mean? Like, if you're with someone that you actually care about and you want to do these things for, I think it does come a little bit easier because you're doing all this for me. I automatically want to do all this for you because you make me feel so good and make me feel so wanted and, appreciated.
It makes you almost want to do more.
It makes you want to do more. Exactly. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Right. And they always call me spoiled, but I do a lot for people.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, you explained it perfectly. I feel like that's how I am. Like, I project it more on people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
What was the question?
It is
What would you do for love?
actually, we were going into like what women need to do to build relationships. I don't think we didn't even get there.
I agree with what you were saying, like how we need to listen more.
Yeah.
Reciprocation.
And then because she came in with the respect, the one word, the one-liners.
Right.
And it's funny because when I do watch like podcasts or like dating things or whatever, I do lean more towards men stuff. Like, I like to watch men.
Me too.
I even like to watch I don't remember what it's called, but it's like I think it's the football one. They have like a podcast or a show or something.
I know which one you're talking about.
I love to watch men just sit and talk.
Me too.
They learn a lot from them.
I have a thing on here. I was saving it for our next guy podcast. But yes, I like listening to men too, because you can't. How is a woman going to tell you how to treat a man?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you want to know more about men, listen to men.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
Oh my gosh, I'm going into my next question.
I was just gonna say
Can
that's
I
like
just say there's one thing? So I was at Target today with Talika, or not today, yesterday. And one of her old like high school friends or whatever, he like seen her, whatever, they were talking, catching up. And it just made me so happy how he was just telling us like he has a girlfriend or whatever and she's a stay-at-home mom and like he's hella okay with that, and like he's like, no, I don't want her to do nothing. Like and then Talika was like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I have so much to say. I just want to shut up.
She was like saying, and so Talika was like, oh, like does she like to shop and stuff like? He was like, yeah, she go crazy. He was like, but I don't be tripping. Like, she stay at home, she take care of the kids. Like, she don't want for nothing. And I was like,
and they're not married? You said girlfriend?
they're not married. Yeah, they're like they have
wow.
kids together. She has 2 kids, or she has kids before him. I think he has kids before her, and then they have their kids together.
you got any cousins?
Girl,
Or brothers?
Brothers?
girl. So I'm just like, that is beautiful because he's our age, like he's working, like providing for his family, and they live in Brentwood. And I'm just like, that's beautiful.
Traditional.
I literally gave him I said, high five, black man, because I'm proud of you.
But yeah, I was gonna say the respect thing and also the listening. That's just really it. Because I would sit down and just talk to me, like, what's going on? Like, how was your day? Like, just, that conversation with the man.
Yeah.
Like, make the dinner. Here's your dinner. Okay, so how's your day today? Yeah. Oh, babe. Oh, okay, that's a lot. I didn't need to know all that.
Men,
but there
mostly,
you go.
they don't even want a response when they're when they're talking. They don't even want you to respond. They just want to let it all out, and then it's on to the next.
Yeah, then they're all
like,
doing their next
I feel
thing.
so much better.
Playing the video game. Like, just leave me alone in peace.
Okay.
Quiet. There you
That's
go.
all you needed? All right, bye.
Yeah.
Yep.
How should I guess you said it, but respect.
Yeah,
But
like, I
how
thought she was the
women,
first person.
what should women do to build relationships?
Honestly, I'm agreeing with everybody. I definitely feel like the respect is number one. Listening. And I think like women, we have really bad attitudes. I know I have a bad attitude sometimes without even knowing it. And then I know like when it's about to be that time of the month, I can be a bitch. I think like they hate that.
They do hate that.
So it's like just working on ourselves and our attitude and trying to be more feminine and not so rough. But it's hard out here.
Real hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the like masculine. What do the women say? It's like I can operate in my feminine energy.
When the man is acting in his masculine, or brings her out
of her.
Yeah. Which I don't really agree with in the sense of like.
When you were explaining that the other day on your story, I was so fucking confused.
Yeah, I was a little
I
confused
was like, this is a lot.
I was like
3 times and I was still like,
I know you're the only one that reacted. Well, and guys, but
like, can you explain it again?
yeah. Well, it was just what I said. It's like I don't understand how women are coming out. How women can only operate in their feminine energy once a man is bringing them out of their masculine energy. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me. Like, I don't feel like women should operate in masculine energy ever
at all.
So I think what women are confusing is survival. Like, you have to survive. If you're single and you have to pay your bills and you have to go to work and you have to, put food on your table and take care of your kids, you're doing that because you don't have a man or whatever the case may be, or because you want to do it or whatever. But that's not masculine energy. Like, masculine energy to me is like leading and dominating and, having, what's the word? Like, those, like what a boss would do. Like, operating as a boss in your life, like, having masculine energy. Like, I don't even know how else to put that.
I think also too, now that you explained it like that, I think it goes back to how we were saying, like, you just need to choose the right person. Because if you are an independent whatever woman, right, and you're paying your own bills and stuff, and whoever you choose, if they're not adding to your life, then you can't change anybody.
If they're not coming into your life to lead it.
Yeah, and also just not adding value.
Because I had this issue in my past relationship where I was not in my feminine energy and he hated it, but I couldn't trust him enough for me to lead, to let go.
Yes,
of that.
but I think where that because that's what I was speaking against. Basically, is like, I don't understand the idea of being in my masculine energy.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be, but I had no choice.
But what I'm saying is, what does that mean? Why do you have to?
So, like, what I was basically getting at is, like, being in the masculine energy to me is me talking to a man any kind of way or crazy because I have attitude. Like, that's me being masculine without even trying to be masculine.
Definitely.
So that's why I was like, just be a little bit more feminine. And I'm really talking to myself right now. So, just being more feminine in my responses and not being so quick to get an attitude. Like, that's I guess, masculine to me.
No, I agree with that. I definitely think, like, I have, like, when I was debating with my husband last night and he was like, so look at, what are you doing? You're not traditional because you're arguing with me. And I was like, this isn't different. We're having a debate. But, no, but I think where the difference between what you're saying and what Mel is saying is Mel was saying she was constantly operating in this masculine energy, which I don't understand.
Like, I felt like I was the one leading. Everything in every aspect.
What made you feel like you were masculine? Like, what? Give us like some examples. Just like 2 examples.
The bread maker,
the breadwinner,
you're planning everything. You're
okay. When it's broken down like that, I guess I can see I could see what you're saying, but you were operating in masculine energy because you were with somebody who wasn't or whatever, right?
He was like a child.
But I don't think she needed a man to pull her out of that. She needed to get away from that man.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
what I said. It goes back to who
you're picking. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think when women are out here saying like, oh, I need this man to step into his masculine energy so I can step into my feminine energy. No, why are you with a man who's not in his masculine energy?
But I think that comes from trauma. So
Definitely.
if you haven't
Definitely.
healed from that trauma, you think you need a man to step up, show you the step up part.
Yeah.
When actually you just need to be a feminine woman and
Yeah.
The man
start
will come.
asking for shit.
No, I understand
Like
both
what
of
she's
you
saying. Like what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys know I've struggled with that. This is
Yeah.
what, I'm in my soft girl era.
No,
Okay.
yeah,
No, I mean this wasn't about you.
I
When
know,
you use
I
that
know,
example, it
but
was just easier to break down
I'm
what I was
the perfect
saying.
example, to
Yeah.
be honest, because I'm like that. Like,
Yeah.
If you're not being the masculine man that I need you to be, then I'm not going to be the feminine woman that you need me to be. Like if I automatically don't get that vibe from you, then no, I'm automatically just bitchy.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you attract that type though? Like, do you feel like you're attracting men that aren't allowing you to be in your feminine energy, or no?
At this point, I don't know what the fuck I attract.
I just wanted to know.
Because I'm really honest from the jump. So people know how I am from the jump. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to
Okay, I will answer for her. I don't think it's necessarily that she attracts I think she's very I don't want to say masculine energy all the time, but she's very like, loud and bold
aggressive.
and yeah, she's very responsible. She was taught to be independent. So and I've said this to her, like, I feel like men take their time with you because you're intimidating. And when you're intimidating, that's masculine energy.
Yeah.
So and she was like, but how? Like, how? I don't care. Like, and I'm like, but you come off like when you
It's
when
a
you
natural.
have your good job and your own place and you're doing this and you're doing that and you're telling people and you're thinking that they're seeing that as like, oh wow, like I want to be with her. They're like, oh wow, like that's like okay. Like, how
a
can
lot.
I be a man and you're already doing all of this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jessica, you have your own business. You do your own thing. Do you ever feel like you are too independent, or is it hard for you to find a man who could like be on your level or even higher?
I definitely feel like I'm accidentally too independent. I'm not even trying to be, but I just naturally am. And I definitely feel like I give off like a masculine energy, even though I'm very girly and like dainty and stuff. But I definitely feel like that.
Dainty, I like that.
She's like, I'm gonna add that to my soft girl vocabulary.
But yeah, I think, and then a lot of people just recently started telling me that, like, you're going to be intimidating to a lot of men. And I'm just thinking, like, really? I didn't even think about it like that. But I definitely think that it's a thing. And I feel like nowadays, men definitely want to be the leaders. And then I'm kind of stuck between, like, okay, so do you guys want a woman that got her own or not? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, which one is it? Because you guys act like you do, but then when you get one, you're like intimidated, and now it's this whole thing and a power struggle. And
Yeah.
Well, what about you? You don't you own your own?
I own my own condo. And I'm independent because I have to be. But I want to find somebody that can take these things off of my plate so that I don't have to be. You know what I mean? You know, so like
Yes, Lord.
I get intimidating as well because I own my own place, own my own cars, you know what I mean? Like doing what I need to do. I travel, I do this and this and that on my own. And people always say I'm intimidating because I'm doing all this stuff and like I don't need a man and what can they provide? But I'm like, but y'all can do this with me. Like you should want to be with a woman who can do for her own, because then when y'all come together, like
It's magic.
it's amazing. You know what I mean?
So do you feel like you're intimidating the person that you're dating right now?
No.
Do you feel like he would take all of that off of your plate?
Well, I feel like he's already taken things off of my plate in ways that he doesn't even know. Like little things, like passenger princess. We love that. Like it's the little things. Like when I'm with him, I don't worry about anything. Like I literally don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about the meal. I don't have to worry about where we're going. I don't have to worry about how we're getting there, anything like that. Those are the little things that I care about. Like I can handle my own. But if I can find someone who can just like take care of the little things when I'm with them, like it's a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely.
That's what I like.
I like that. I like that because, like you said, you have your own. So if there's something else, like you got the back end.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I love that.
I got a question. So do you feel like your guys' independence and, to yourselves, does it affect your standards that you have towards a guy?
for me personally, it's kind of interesting because I've never really been into like a standard. When I think about my dating life, it's pretty short. I haven't had a lot of boyfriends. I've been in like serious relationships most of my life. And I'm the type of person, like, if I like somebody, I like them for who they are, not what they have. Like, I don't really care about stuff like that. So I never even made like a standard list. But now that I'm starting to get older, like, okay, I'm 28, like, you know, it's like, do I need to make some standards? Like, I don't know. I be liking people for who they are. And I'm like, am I not supposed to be doing that?
And that's the problem that I feel like we have. Sorry, I'm not speaking for you. For us, we don't have those type of standards either. We like people for who they are. Like, you have to drive this type of car. You have to make this amount of money. We're not those type of females, like, at all. And I think that's where we struggle because most of these girls in this generation, they require like shit I be seeing on Twitter, like, oh, if you ain't doing this or this and that, like, you got to pay to even get a picture of me. You got to pay for my nails.
Someone to pay for it. And I'm over here like, what? Like, I didn't even actually pay for nothing. Like,
Standards? We definitely need some standards, y'all.
Like, do I need to start telling people, like, if you want a picture, you're going to have to pay for my nails?
I mean, for real.
I think that standards, bless you. I think standards are, we should have a little bit of standards, of course. You know what I mean? But I still definitely go off of their character.
I was gonna say, but when you say that, you're talking about their personality and their morals and their
I think that's my standard.
Like, their standard is their personality.
They're a good father. They're respectful. Like but I mean, as far as like materialistic standards, I get both sides. I get the women who say like, oh, he has to make this amount of money and he has to, like, I get it to an extent. I don't think it's necessarily should be like a deal breaker, because I think it, and that's what I was saying too about Marvin. And when I was having this conversation last night and all the drama and bullshit we had went through, like, he met the main standard of like love, hardworking, and like he wanted to take care of me. And not necessarily like our plans were not for me to be stay at home or work part-time or not work, or those were never like verbal, like, you know, that we talked about until we had kids. But before that, it was like I seen the values that he had, as far as like I was saying, I was like, Marvin, he may have had dead end jobs, but he never not made money for us. Like he never left. I never ever had to worry about how the bills were going to get paid.
He got it out the mud.
Like out the mud. Oh my gosh. But
you were also the type of woman, like, if I know that I'm about to do what I gotta do.
And that's the thing, I always had a good job, so maybe that was another reason why I never thought about him. Like, I never had to double think about him because I was making it too. But it was like, because I was making such great money, he could have been a bum if he wanted to, and he still wasn't. And he was like, I'm gonna find a good job, I'm gonna get into this place, I'm gonna put in 50 applications at this place, like, I'm gonna get it. And then when he got it, he was like, all right, kick your feet up. And he told me this yesterday. We were talking about him and like hard work and overtime and stuff, and then he was like, and look, you don't have to do nothing. And I was sitting on the couch at the time. He's like, just sit there. You don't have to do nothing. And I was like, you're right, baby. I'm gonna sit here. But it just like it was the character, and it was what, like, they say, you know, don't date off of potential, which is true. You shouldn't date off, but it's more of, don't date off the potential we hope that they have. It's date off their actual potential. Like, I'm seeing him go out and find it. Like, if he lost a job, he's finding another job. If he has this job, he's going to try and get to this position. If he has this job he wants to get to, he's going to put in those 50 applications. Like, I seen that potential that he actually had, like, that he was working towards. And I think those are our standards, because I doubt you guys are going to date a man that's not actively trying to get better for their lives. So there are standards there that we're just so used to having, just naturally, that we're not seeing them as standards. But I do think that there is a level of something that because there are men we delete, that we ignore every day. So there's obviously a standard, you know. But with that being said, when we're talking about the attitude thing, who do you think has a harder time taking accountability, men or women?
Men.
I'm gonna say it depends on the person, because honestly, like, it's the person. Like, I know me, when I was growing up, I used to have a hard time taking accountability until somebody had to tell me about myself, and I had to be like, okay, I know I'm wrong, like, let me just admit it. And then, like, there's other men out there too that just, they'll do things and they'll divert. They won't take accountability. But then there's people, it's just people. Men and women, I feel like. It's the person, and it's like where their mental is. Like, how mature are they mentally? Are they mature enough to be like, okay, you know what, I fucked up, I'm wrong, and then go on it, or are they just gonna keep acting like they don't know nothing and we're crazy? It's the person.
Yeah. What do you think, Ash?
Individual.
Yeah, I can see like, individually, I get that. But I say like as a whole, I would say woman has a hard time taking accountability in general for like in relationships, friendships, society, dating.
Yeah,
I can see that.
And like, as a whole.
When you take it out of a relationship, because I guess I can't speak for other women, I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know how you operate in your relationship.
Yeah, but I could say, yeah, definitely outside of that, friendship wise and everything. Yeah, definitely women. Yep.
I agree. I do think women, but when the men can't, the men be menning.
Yeah, and that goes with being with trash ass men, like can't take accountability and fucking be mature and say, you know what, I'm wrong. I did this, and that.
Yeah, a non-accountable man and their pride and ego, nice.
I do think it depends on the person, but I do think women own up to it quicker or are more susceptible to owning up to things than a man. I think that we're kind of the first person to kind of come to our senses and be like, okay, like whatever. I feel like guys take a little bit longer.
Wait, do you think that's a you thing?
Is it?
Because when you're saying it out loud, I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
Really?
Throughout my
Maybe
relationship.
it's the people I surround myself with.
Maybe. Because throughout my relationship, it like think about it. Like, well, I don't know for you guys, but for me, like if I'm getting into it with Marvin, I'm somebody who takes accountability. Like I do very much so. Like
Even when she shouldn't.
yeah, I will be quick to tell somebody, okay, I'm sorry I made you feel this way or whatever. But when it came to Marvin, it was like if I realized I was wrong, I would let it go. Like I would move on.
Yeah,
I would stop the argument. I wouldn't keep it going. I wouldn't just keep pushing at it. But I'm not going to be like,
awkward
okay.
silence.
I've gotten to a point now where I'm definitely saying sorry. Like I'm definitely saying sorry. But there was a long time where I'm just like, no, he's not about to know I'm wrong. I'm not about to give him that.
Maybe that comes with age too. You know what I mean? Like the older you get, the
but I
mature
know,
you become.
like with him, I mean, I will say Marvin had a hard time taking accountability too. So maybe it was for us, it was a pretty equal. But even in like other instances of women, like I know we're quick to be like, no, I'm not wrong, or no, because of this, or give ourselves an excuse, or just like sweep it under the rug like it didn't happen, rather than say we were wrong. Whereas men are quicker to be like, they may not take accountability for the right reasons, but they're like, I want this to be over. I want her to shut up. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm sorry. Okay, you get it. So there's like I guess it is an individual thing. I do think that,
And I think it's a maturity thing too. But like Marvin, like you said, we were talking about something in the garage like a week ago. He was like, who am I to tell you what to do? Like, I did this shit to Sabrina. Like
yesterday.
Oh yeah.
It was
yesterday because we were talking about our friend's situation.
Oh.
And then he was like, well, I wouldn't be able to tell him anything because I've done way worse.
Yeah. True. Yeah. He knows. That's accountability. Like, who am I to tell you what to do when I done did this shit myself?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think definitely it's a mature thing. But women are very immature.
Men are too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you brought in the friendship stuff, it made me really think, because all of us, we can't have no friends outside of us because females
so
are just
hard.
They're just so
Weird.
yes, very. They don't want to take accountability of the person that they really are, and when you compare them to the relationships that they're in, they're completely different from when they're a friend to you. I was reading this thing on Twitter, because this is kind of off topic, but not like, women get mad because men want to go hang out with their best friend that they've been friends with for 20 years and leave their woman at home that they've only been with for 5 months. Somebody was like, that's because bitches are they'll drop their friend that they've been friends with for a fucking 100 years to go be with a man they known for 5 fucking days.
Not my friends.
No, not me.
I'm not letting it happen. No, I'm just
No, not me. But I'm like,
She's like, no,
that
I'm
makes
not letting it happen.
sense. Like women are crazy.
No, I definitely have seen like memes like that, and it can be true. But I think too, it comes with like, if you look at it from both sides, like if it's also women being so emotional that when their friend gets a guy and she wants to spend all her time with him, she might not be dropping you. Let the girl be with the guy for a little while.
Yeah.
Like, So it's also the other girl being emotional, like, oh, she dropped me because she met this guy for 5
Like, I
months.
was gonna say it's more like a submissive thing too. Like I'm supposed to submit to my man, so I'm gonna stay with my man.
I
Go
mean,
be
it
with my
definitely
man.
depends on
And then
the other.
the
if it's for
party
the right
in the
reasons,
situation,
yeah.
right? But like the guy leaving to go be with his friends, like he's not supposed to just stay home with you.
Yeah.
It's not his role. Like that's not what he's supposed to do. He's gonna go chill with his friends.
Yeah.
You go make dinner.
Tiana's like, yeah, no. Mine needs to be right here. Oh, that's funny. So, do you guys think this is going to be, I'm going to give you guys a minute to process this question, but do you think that attention for women is like what sex is for men?
Yes, to me.
I
I know
don't know.
I'm needy, so
I'm very
different.
needy, but
I think men like crave sex like all times throughout the day, and I think. Well, I know for me personally as a woman, I definitely do crave attention. Like even if I want to be left alone, like I still want that attention. You know, like
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I think if you're in your relationship,
I think the question is more general, but you can look at it in a relationship
okay,
way.
say I'm in a relationship, I think it's the same.
I have a backup question that's going to blow your minds.
Because-
but I want to hear this.
Because if you want to have sex with me 5 times a day, that's giving me attention.
Not the attention you really want.
You kind of.
I'm like,
For who? For who?
not for you. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Because I feel like Tiana
but-
was the same.
But I also,
But you know when I'm saying
also
that,
feel
I'm
like-
separating the two.
Yeah.
So what
I
attention
also-
is for us, is it the same as what sex is for them? Not is sex attention for you?
but listen, because when you want to put it in relationship form, I feel like men don't even really want to have sex like that.
For you.
No. I feel like Marvin do not be. I mean, yeah, he wants to have
I know
sex
what you
every
mean.
day.
I know
you
what
know
you
what I mean.
mean.
But
Yeah.
I feel like once you really get into a relationship, y'all don't be fucking humping like that.
Okay, but think of the question.
It's a
So
tough question.
But I mean, okay.
Ask
Okay,
it
I
again.
get what you're
Ask
saying.
it again.
Because I'm like, okay, I need to ask a man. Because I feel like us generally, we think men want sex fucking every 5 seconds.
But that is not always the case.
That's what I'm saying. So,
So
I'm
do
like, I
women
don't
want
know.
so it's like
attention?
50-50.
do women want attention the way we think men want sex?
Okay, yeah.
That's
I
the
guess,
fucking
yeah.
point.
Yeah. Generally, I guess.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
generally.
Do what?
Because she's trying to say men don't even want sex like that. And I'm saying, okay, that's not the point. Do women want attention the way we think men want sex?
Yeah, because men don't even want attention like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we all said yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if attention is to women what we think sex is to men, then is having public Instagram accounts cheating?
Wait. Say it again.
I had a feeling you were gonna go with this whole general thing.
Yep.
But it's whatever.
Because if
Yeah.
what we think sex is to men, if that's what attention is to us, why do we have open
I knew when you said
Instagram
attention,
profiles?
you meant like attention.
So if we have
attention.
open Instagram profiles, which is for attention, then that's cheating.
Yeah.
So when you
I don't know about cheating.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
too
I agree.
strong.
No, I agree.
But I can see
agree.
how it could be like attention.
when I think about attention initially when you were asking the question, I was thinking about attention from my man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the other people.
Right.
Because I don't really care about the other people. So that's
Right.
my opinion on that one.
Go. Do you have anything to say?
I'm still processing.
Okay.
Yeah, because everybody sitting at this table except me has their Instagram on public.
So
Why is the Instagram on public?
listen. So me because I know people like to watch me, and I'm gonna give you a reason to watch me.
So you want attention?
But no, yes. It's not the attention.
See, I'm the
part.
opposite. I see
It's
people
not-
start watching me and I fucking hated it. I went private.
I guess it's more of a petty thing for me.
Get over it.
But y'all can get over it. Don't watch me. Don't watch me. I'm not.
Don't
but
watch
my
me.
thing is
Watch
I don't go and search for the attention. It's already coming to me. So I'm gonna put on a show for you if that's what you want. If I got time for it today. But you ain't gotta follow me. But then again, it comes with the fake pages and all that. Like that's what irritates me. But anyways, with the attention part, like she was saying, yeah, I want it from my actual man. Other outsiders, I really don't care too much. But I mean, it makes you feel good at one point or whatever.
It's an ego booster.
Yeah. What was the other part to that?
No, I was saying so.
The Instagram part, to me personally, I think that if we didn't have Instagram and it was just you with your boyfriend, you looking at another man, that's wrong. And if your man is looking at another girl, that's wrong. So it's the same thing to me for Instagram.
Like in person?
A man is liking a girl's pictures. That's the same thing as if you with him and he looking at another girl. So I do think it's cheating.
So you're cheating on your man.
I'm not liking niggas' pictures.
But your page is
I can
public.
see.
Yeah, but I'm not going to other people's pages.
I can see how you.
But people are coming to yours.
So they cheating on their people.
Okay.
But you're letting the attention come.
If I'm walking down
baby,
the
if you
street
want
and
the
somebody
page
says,
blocked.
"Hey, beautiful," what I'm gonna say?
Yes.
My page is on private.
I'm just gonna ignore them. I'm not gonna hide my face.
I think there is logistics here, right? There's different ways you can look at it, but the point of it was, if you have an open Instagram profile, you're allowing for other men to either lust after you, DM you, chase you, watch you, look at you. So you're giving into the attention that is as important to us as sex is to them. So it is having the open Instagram, the public Instagram. The question was, do you see that as cheating? Not if you go to other men's Instagram. So, I mean, there is a little bit of difference in the logistics.
But I feel like it's the same as if I walk to the store and somebody says, "You're beautiful."
But you're allowing it.
So because I'm going outside, I'm allowing it?
No, you're allowing it on your social media.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's
so if
what
you had
I'm
a
comparing
private,
it to.
if you had a private profile, are you still walking out in the street? You can't.
No, but I got friends on there, so I'm supposed to have no male friends on my Instagram.
No, but what I'm saying is keeping your public profile is opening it to other people who are not already your friends.
You walking out on the street is normal. You're gonna walk outside.
No, but if you want to use that as the example, it's like walking out into the street to go to the liquor store or walking out into the street to go to the nightclub. You're allowing all the men in the nightclub to come at you. Where you're going to the liquor store, you don't really. Those are the people already in the liquor store. There's two completely different things.
I guess.
But how does it equal to the men's sex though? Are you saying like they're gonna go out and cheat with everybody?
It doesn't have anything to do with the sex. I'm comparing it to get you guys to say yes, attention is the same as to us as the same as sex. It's important. It means something. We're looking for it. We're seeking it. We want it. It gives us a high. It's something we think about.
Like
we crave
if
it all
men
day.
were to seek
like men
sex.
are to sex with sex, not seek. Just what it is to men. Not talking about men seeking sex or women seeking attention. I'm talking about what it is to us. So what attention is to women is what sex is to men. And if we believe that to be true, then having an open Instagram profile that's allowing that attention that we seek so bad for, the way that men do seek sex or want sex, then that's basically saying like we would cheat. So that would be the same as a man having sex with another woman.
Yeah, that's what
yeah. In that sense, yes. If you see it that way. I'm asking you guys if you see it that way. I'm just breaking down the question.
I get it.
Go ahead, Leslie.
I mean, I get it. It's a loaded question.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Listen, I am dating the man that I'm dating because of Instagram, so he will get over it. Okay, I'm gonna stay public. That's how we found. No, that's a loaded question. All I have to say is I do like attention. I like attention. I'll be super honest about it. But I also.
But that's from your man.
But yes, from my man. I like it. I feel like for me, it's a two-part question. Like, I like just general attention from people who are not my man. The person who is my man, I like a certain type of attention from him. Yes. I don't seek that same attention from other men.
Right.
So that's how I feel like it's a little different. But
that makes a very good point though.
Yeah.
Because that's like having a public Instagram and I'm in all bikinis. Whereas I'm in a public Instagram and me and my man's is all on my page.
Right.
So
Right.
there could be a difference. Logistics.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's levels to it. There's levels to it.
Definitely some levels.
Ash, did you have more questions? Because I'm running out.
Yeah, I do. I have several. I just gotta go back to D-Notes.
You didn't answer the question though.
Me?
Oh yeah, you were processing.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead,
I mean,
sis.
Because you post a lot.
I know, but and that's the thing. My page is public.
And you post a lot
You
of
post a lot.
It's like I post a lot.
body
Yeah,
stuff.
you post a lot. So, yeah, you post a lot.
I post like naked. Most of my posts are gym.
I didn't say
photos.
naked. I said body.
I know I'm saying
so your
naked.
body in clothes.
In clothes.
But you
I mean,
got body,
I
so-
have body, so it's not like I can hide it.
Yes, you can.
Not really.
Sort of wear muumuus.
Just don't post it.
Just
Okay,
face
but-
photos only.
So, if you get a man and he is like, I don't like that you're doing all that. Like you're you're asking for attention by posting all that stuff, are you gonna go private and stop posting?
Yeah, I've done it.
I'm like, we know Ash would though.
I would.
Yeah.
That's not really hard. And if you look at my page now, it's all me and Anaya. So it's not really body.
It's the gym reels for me. That's
It's
all.
just all the gym
Yeah.
stuff.
Good question. Huh? No. Okay.
What about you? Would you go private?
She said no.
She said,
I probably would not.
Is there a reason? Is there like a specific reason you're public?
Yeah, well, not a specific reason, but I do. So I'm also a belly dancer, so I post like my shows and
Okay. It's business.
It's low key, like it is, but it isn't. I like post it in my stories, but like, so I post a lot of photos of me in my costume. They're revealing, like it is what it is. But I also feel like,
So what if your man said, I don't really like this anymore?
I feel like, sir, but you met me like this. You know what I mean? I feel like I shouldn't have to change what I'm already doing to a certain degree. I do respect the relationship that I'm in. So if there is something that was actually really bothering
We
him,
could talk about
let's
it.
talk about it.
Okay.
And let's figure out how,
So
how we
there's
can work
room
this
to
out.
compromise.
There's room to compromise. But no, I can't see myself
really
going.
hungry.
Smells good. Okay, that's fair. What about you? Would you compromise going private, or are you public? Yeah, but your business.
Aside from your business.
I have a business page and a personal page. My business page is public. My personal page was private up until a couple of weeks ago. And the only reason why I made it public is because I have my YouTube channel and I'm like trying to post more pictures and stuff now. So I was like, okay, let me open it up. It's whatever. But at first I was just being like protective of the space. But if I had a partner and he was like, I don't agree with some of the stuff you're posting, I definitely think we could talk about it. And if I agree with it, I'm willing to compromise, but I'm definitely not going to let him control the whole situation.
Right.
Like, especially if I'm not doing anything offensive. So, yeah.
What about you, Sabrina? What if Marv said go private?
I mean, more recently I've been thinking about going private. The thing about me and social media is
Be politicking.
I like to ruffle feathers. I like to have debates. I like to have conversation because
How these girls like to tussle.
like deep down inside of me, I feel like I have a purpose to help make the world better one person at a time. And I truly do believe, and I don't want to sit here and be like, I think that I'm right about everything, but I truly do stand by the things I believe. And I would love to see people come and be like, oh my God, you've opened my eyes so much to so many things. So a part of me is like, I feel like that's my purpose, and it's being used through social media. So it would be hard for me to like completely just private all, because I have gone private on Facebook, which I've had all my social media public forever. I've never gone private on anything. But about a year ago, I went private on Facebook, and that was the first one. And then I think I've done Instagram a couple of times, like here and there for short periods of time. But I don't know. I mean, if he cared, I would definitely take it into consideration. I probably would do it and then hope I forget that it is and then not think about it. But I don't know. It's hard because I really do believe that, like, I talk about Jesus. I talk about politics. I talk about, men and women in society and how to, things we should instill in our children and fighting for children's rights and all that stuff. And it's really important that I reach more than just my
So the
followers.
answer is no. Because you're not
yes.
answering me.
The answer is no.
She gave you a whole,
She gave a
no.
whole explanation as to why you would not.
Yeah, because
I think that
it's
you
not-
would.
I think I would, but I just think
You'd
like
be very
it would be
upset.
hard. Yeah, it would be something that's like, how am I supposed to do what I feel like I'm supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like,
What if he was like, you're causing too much attention towards our family, go private?
okay.
Stop trying to.
No, because what do you mean too much attention?
Like all your topics and stuff, you're causing too much attention to yourself.
Am
Like,
I
go
famous at that
private.
point?
Maybe.
Then yeah, if I'm famous and I'm causing too much attention, then fuck yeah. But if I'm 3,000 followers and don't have no clout, like that doesn't make sense. But if I have clout and they're fucking, sending me death threats, of course everything's gonna be private. My kids are gonna be completely off my page. But yeah, that's a whole different subject. Like, I'm not fucking famous, so
So she doesn't have a one answer.
I have no clout. Yeah. Okay. Ultimately, if he really came to me and was like, "This is how I feel. This is it, and this is the deal breaker for me," then yes, I would go private, and it would just I'd have to find a new purpose, I guess.
Wait, Tiana, what was your answer?
100%. I would delete my whole page if you wanted me to.
Yeah. We had that conversation.
Because I don't have anything. I don't like Sabrina. She's more of like an activist type person. Jazz has a business. You kind of have a business. I don't got nothing on there. I'm just living life. Shoot. So,
Mel, you're private right now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So after my birthday, I seen all the attention that I got from unwanted viewers. That why are you looking at my shit? That's fucking weird. It's weird. And I'm sure I was gonna leave that out because I haven't said it this whole episode. So if you're watching this, you're fucking weird.
Good Lord.
You're watching.
Oh my goodness.
Which I'm sure you are because you're fucking weird.
Oh my God. Good Lord.
Okay.
But yeah, Ash, go ahead.
Okay, I have a question. How do you feel about men more in touch with their feminine side?
When she says more
Like
in
in
touch,
what way?
she means more in touch.
And what do you
More
mean?
in touch.
What do you mean?
Like
in
your
the way
outfit
they
looks better than mine,
right? Like the way their style, or
Or like
I'm gonna
just
say
an
the whole
express-
thing. More emotional, more expressive, more fashion, just more in touch with everything feminine.
So I don't mind my man being more in tune with his feelings because I feel like we should give them space.
Yeah, and that could be
We
viewed
should
as
give
feminine.
them space to be emotional.
That sounded hard. For me to
But
say.
if you're,
So if he's crying every day, you're okay with that? Go ahead. Let's get into it.
yeah, I'll take a cry, baby.
I don't know.
24%.
But if you are like, you want to fucking, I don't know.
If you gotta buy an outfit every time we go somewhere, that's a problem because I need to do that. Too.
exactly.
So-
That's my
But
role.
see, I don't even mind that. But I think it
I don't
gets
mind
just
that.
more into like, because I don't mind my man getting a facial or like getting getting a manicure.
That's just taking care of
Right,
But
exactly.
if you want to get it every fucking day or like you trying to fucking get your nails painted and stuff like that, then I'm like, nah.
That's gay. Sorry.
I don't mind guys getting manicures and pedicures. You know, just get a clean up the cuticles.
Yeah, but like
don't mind
when you're too into, like, I like manly men. So
Yeah.
when you're too into that type of stuff, I'm just like,
Yeah.
What's too manly, man?
What's too manly men?
Yeah.
There's not. That's
No,
not
he's
into
too-
manly men.
okay.
I'm like, there ain't no too manly men. No, but yeah.
I feel like guys are taught though not to be emotional, so they're taught not to cry a lot. So
That's what I'm saying.
That's very rare to get a
Come
guy
cry
to
on my
just
shoulder,
cry
baby.
and cry and cry every day. They're taught to not like they're
Sabrina's
taught to
shaking
not
her
show
head
their woman that
because-
they're taught to never cry in front of your woman.
Sabrina's shaking her head because we had a conversation to where I was like, why the fuck is he crying so much? But
Because this is the thing, what I've noticed about women is we say, like, we'll take this emotional man, we'll take this, you know, this feminine side. Like, it's okay to be in touch with your emotions. It's okay to cry. It's okay to come on my shoulder. But it's always to an extent.
Yeah.
There's always a boundary that we'll take. And that's one of two things. It's one, it's not fair, right? Like, if we're going to allow this, we need to allow it in its entirety. If we're giving them limitations, then fuck it. Just don't be emotional. Because now you got to worry about which girl, which limit, how much they'll take, when it's going to be too much, when it's going to turn them off, when are they going to leave. There's like a statistic that says too, like once a man cries, a certain high percentage of women are going to end up leaving once they've seen the man cry. So it's like at some point, women don't really want that, but we all say we do.
So to our guests,
See, I listen
Jazz
to
and
this.
Leslie, if your
can
man randomly just started like bursting out in tears, what are you gonna do? Jazz, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna start crying too. I have this thing. When I see like men cry or anybody cry, I'm crying. Like I've seen my dad cry before. Every time my dad cries, I'm crying. Like,
Yeah.
Every time, how many times has it been?
I've seen him cry probably like 2 times in my life.
And
Maybe.
it was due to death?
One was death when my mom passed. The other one, I think I had graduated college, and he was just crying for joy.
So those are literally I wouldn't say the 2 times, but one reason why men will cry is death. And the one would be like birth of a baby or like some kind of congratulations, which is
so
a little
it's like
different.
acceptable.
Yeah,
Acceptable.
it's a little different. But your dad hasn't come crying to you because his car broke down. No. It's a difference. It's a difference.
That's true.
I can be the only crybaby in this
Is he gonna-
relationship. And And I am.
When he cries about his car getting broken down, is he gonna still fix it? Or
And I am. I will cry over everything.
Just have a mental breakdown
Tiana,
right before I go out.
That's the limitation you
it's
have.
not a limitation. You can cry. No, this is the thing. It doesn't even have to do. It doesn't even have to do with the man for me. If Sabrina is crying to me about her relationship, I'm gonna be like, okay, so what are you gonna do to fix it? Or what's the resolution? It always has to be a resolution, whether you crying or not.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I came to you 3 days in a row and cried to you 3 days in a row and had a resolution, I'm still crying to you. You're not thinking nothing of it.
Yes, I am.
Bitch, no.
Yes, I am.
No.
So you don't think I'm gonna be like, so bitch, why are you crying every day?
I think
Let's fucking fix
you
this.
might say that, but it's not going to be like, oh no, I can't do this. I can't be this person's friend. I can't be this person. Like, no. If a man is doing that, you're going to be like,
Yeah, or-
I don't know if I could do this.
I think I've expressed to you about other friends where I'm like, I'm tired of her crying to me. So yeah, it's the same.
I don't. Maybe, let's try a different scenario. Because maybe what if the guy is like stressed out at work? You know when you have those days you're stressed out and then all of a sudden you drop your phone and it
I think
breaks.
that's even
And
worse.
And then you, but I know.
Ever seen a man cry? Big stress.
No, but listen. Then you drop your phone and it breaks, and you calls you. Oh, I just broke my phone.
No,
I'm just like,
bitch.
you're just like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why are you
You know
like
me,
calm
I'll be like,
down?
you're
Like,
crying over your
chill.
phone?
Exactly. So like, you don't know.
So
you don't know about
their
their
buy you a new one? Like, what the fuck are you crying for?
But you don't know why they're crying. You don't know that they were stressed out at work. But
just emotional.
He just came to you because you dropped his phone and just all kind of overloaded.
Call
now,
me when you're done crying.
Men just don't do that. I feel like.
like, exactly. That's
Because
what I'm
we
saying.
don't allow it.
That's just being
Yeah.
dramatic. I feel
why.
like when you're stressed, you're going through something like a depression, and then he just breaks down like I'm overwhelmed with life. That's different. Don't fucking call me because you had a bad day and you. I don't even do shit like that. I'm gonna cry first, and then I will call you to complain.
So I think that it's okay for men to cry to other men.
Yes.
I think that men should have good, healthy relationships with other men in their life where they can go to them and they can have those conversations and they can have those emotional breakdowns and they can, because there's too many limitations with women and I don't think it's fair on them, but I do think they should be allowed to express their emotions with other men. Fathers, brothers, best friends, people that are in their corner that can tell them like, you got this. Because I'm not saying I just think men should not cry and men should not have emotions and should not be in touch with how they feel and then bottle that up and then who knows how it's gonna, come
So
out.
what do you say?
What do you mean?
Like, would you be okay if Marvin
No,
cried to you?
I'm not okay with that. Not saying I'm not okay completely. I've seen Marvin cry.
Yeah.
Like I've seen it. But there was limitations. There was an extent to it. If you come into me crying because your phone broke, like
What the fuck?
I'm like, can this man take care
Meanwhile,
of
this
me and
bitch will
protect me?
fucking have a whole meltdown.
Literally.
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah, you.
Oh, you made me.
You too. These
Like
two right
any minor inconvenience,
Bruh.
done.
She calls Marvin for
Crying.
everything.
Yeah, I do. That's what I'm supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
He can't cry to you.
Like imagine if the roles reversed.
He can't
Yeah,
cry
no.
to you.
Now he's just too feminine.
No, yeah,
Like,
it's
stop.
it's no, it's not that he can't. If he can, but it's a risk of at some point. It's like, what is going on? Like, can I take this? Like, I need you to be. I need the dominant leader that's strong.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Yeah.
keep us together. That's gonna pick us up when we're down. That's gonna
Because we both can't be
lead us-
crybabies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like naturally
That's
as
the
women, we
point.
look at them
Exactly.
to provide,
That's the
protect,
point.
and do the lead. And
Yeah.
if I
And
see you crying all the time, I'll be like, so do I need to put my big moe shoes on?
Like, don't get me
what's going
wrong.
on?
I seen my daddy cry one time, and my daddy is the most masculine man I know.
Yeah.
And I've seen him cry one time, and it was when his mom died. And I think maybe, I don't know, I don't think he cried, but his siblings have passed away too, and I think he was emotional or like, I do tend to think that there are other ways that he deals with his, pain in not so healthy ways, but because there's that stigma, like, and he tells me too, like he'll tell me and my sister if we cry too much, he'll be like, you got to move on. Like they say that, but that's the man, like that's the man in them, And again, I'm not against men crying. I just think there are healthier ways to do it. At this point, if Marvin came to me crying about something really, really small, like we'll figure it out. But I just think that
something was wrong. Like,
yeah, it would be way out of character.
cheat on me, right?
Yeah, I'd be like, what? Did you take some weird medication or are you in drugs or something? But like, beside that, like for other men that are just out here dating, I don't think that they should be that way with new women because it's a risk for them. Mm-hmm. Like they can lose out on a woman because of showing too much emotion. So I do think that men should have healthy relationships with other men that they can go to and do that.
All right. So I saw a tweet on Twitter, and it was actually So this is what it was. It was a TikTok video. She was explaining how she got an invitation in the mail, wedding invitation, and she opened it up and noticed that she got invited to the wedding ceremony only. So she called, the bride, because they're friends, and she was like, "Hey, girl, so got the wedding invitation. It's super cute, but I noticed I only got invitation or information for the ceremony. So what's going on for the reception?" She's like, "Oh, well, the receptions or the wedding ceremony is more open for open invite, and then the reception is more closed off to our it's close friends and stuff." So she's like, "What?"
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
Right. That's weird.
Yeah. So she was like confused. She was like, "Well, I'm not going to anything at all now. Like, why are you inviting me to one thing only?"
So the ceremony was open because you don't have to pay per seat. So there's more seating, but reception you have to pay per meal, per plate, and there's a capacity. So it made more
Just
sense.
don't invite me at all.
Right.
Yeah, I just wouldn't invite you at
Because
all.
fuck the ceremony. I want to go to that.
Exactly.
The
I'm here
after
for
party.
party.
Yeah, and a lot of people were saying too, like people keep it small for the reception for price reasons, and also it's like people get like let loose. They can dance more. They don't have to worry about impressing their coworker that they don't talk to unless they're only at work.
It's kind of weird to invite a friend just to your ceremony. Like, they're clearly not that good of a friend if you're just inviting them.
Yeah. I would just have a 50 count wedding at that point though. But that's just me.
So are you going?
No.
Yeah, no, I'm not going.
No, because I'm not your friend like that. So I don't need to be at your ceremony. So bye.
I would feel offended. I probably would not even. be
Yeah,
friends
we're not going to be
ever
friends
again.
no more. Sorry. Not sorry.
no.
So, no.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was on the phone with my dad this morning, and him and my stepmom went to a wedding last night. And so we were talking. I'm like, "Oh, how was the wedding?" He was like, "You know what's crazy? She didn't even get invited to the wedding. She only got invited to the reception." So she kept saying, I was doing her makeup yesterday, and she was like, "Yeah, we're going to this wedding, and it doesn't start till 7 p.m. It's my sister's wedding." And I'm like, "What wedding starts at 7 p.m.?
Right.
And so when they got there, they're all
Sister.
dressed up. It was like her stepsister, like,
That's still your family.
Yeah.
not even stepsister. Let me see if I can break it down. So this is her half sister's real siblings on the other side. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So she's thinking she's going to a wedding, but in reality, they got there and they were only at the reception. So that's funny. You just brought that up. It just made me think about that.
No, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather go to the ceremony only because it's more intimate. Like you see them, I do the vows and you crying, "Oh my God, I love you." Versus like I could miss the,
So I
first dance.
I think it does depend on, like, if I thought we were besties and she's telling us that we're not, then I'd be hurt and I probably wouldn't go. But if we're mutually like, "Oh, this is a good friend but not a great friend," then I would go to the ceremony and not go to the reception because I don't know them people anyways.
Funny story. I actually ended a friendship over her wedding because I thought we were at the time we were best friends, but from what I knew, and she didn't invite me at all. Like, I went from being a bridesmaid to not being in the wedding at all, and then I found out through Facebook. Well, here's the thing. She told me that she was not going to have bridesmaids, so I was like, "Cool, your decision, whatever. Just excited to be at your wedding." And I find out on Facebook she sent out little, "Will you be my bridesmaid" gifts to all these other girls.
So she lied to you.
She lied. Wow. I saw it didn't find out until Facebook, and I was like, cool. Okay. And then but at this point, I'm like still anticipating an invite to the wedding, like at least.
Yeah.
Months went by, never got an invite.
What the fuck?
What did you do?
I
low.
literally unfriended her that day and have never talked to her since.
But you guys were like damn near best
We were
friends.
like best friends. That's the part that blows me away. I'm like,
Did you
how
do
did
something to her that you didn't know you
Girl,
did?
so I don't know.
'Cause she, like,
We
gradually
have
canceled you.
Literally, it's like it just trickled off. We kind of like broke up before in the past, so we were like super close. Something happened. We stopped talking for like a year. Then we became friends again. And so in that second friendship is when she got engaged. And I'm thinking everything's all good. Like,
So you were there for the engagement.
I was
and everything.
literally everything. We went to dinner. She wanted me to like specially introduce me to her fiance, like everything before they even got engaged. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. And I noticed things had kind of fallen off when I found out that he had like planned this whole engagement and didn't loop me in, which is not the issue, but it's the fact that she told me like, "I want you to be a part of the engagement. Like, I want you to help him like figure it out."
So
And
he knew. So he doesn't like you.
He must not like me. He must not like me.
That's what I'm getting.
Right. Yeah. Something happened. Anyway, long story short, never talked to her since.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I've actually had two friends, and one, we had a conversation like in a group chat with another one of our friends, and talking about her relationship, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited, can't wait to be a part of your wedding, I can't wait to help you, like just foretelling the future. We didn't know if that was if the proposal was coming or not. And then like right after the summer, she'd got proposed to in the summer, and then she had a quick wedding like right after the proposal, and I watched it all on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
So I deleted her, didn't talk to her for months, and then we bumped into each other, and so there was a conversation, and she had asked me to hang out, and I was like, there's still, like, we still need to talk about this.
Yeah.
So we had a conversation, we didn't meet eye to eye, so we kind of just, we mutually let the friendship just die. Mm-hmm. And then another friend who basically did the same thing was telling me that she got engaged, and she was going to invite me.
Didn't we get invitations?
No, we didn't get invitations. She asked us for our address, me and Tiana's address, to send us wedding invitations, and we never got them. And not only do we not get them, we've just never spoke ever since either. Yeah. So I do feel like weddings are like,
they're sacred.
Weddings change things.
Yeah.
Like, I've lost a couple friends
Behind
over
the wedding, yeah.
the wedding. You know what I mean? Like, for reason, it's funny because
that's why I said get married at the courthouse.
Right. In both situations, I still to this day do not know what I did. So now you got me thinking maybe they didn't like me. Maybe their dudes didn't like me. What was it? Like, for no explanation.
But I know
weird.
how you are as a friend because I see you with your friends. Like, you're like me. You hold your friends, like, higher than
Very
anybody
close,
else. And you're very close to them. So it's giving weird.
Very weird.
It's giving the groom didn't like you.
Very
it's
weird.
giving y'all should have never been friends again.
Mm-hmm. I haven't had that situation, but I definitely have had friends where they just fall off and won't even tell me what the issue was.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I've had two where I literally had to reach out to them. And I usually don't. I usually be like, if you don't want to be my friend, whatever. But just those two people, something happened, and I was just like, and it happened at the same time. So I'm like, is this something I need to work on? Like, can y'all tell me?
Right.
And when I asked them, they didn't have a reason. And I was just like,
say?
okay.
What did they say?
One said that I didn't commute. Like, basically, I wasn't like hitting her up.
You wasn't
and
up her
like
ass?
calling her, but it was funny because I actually was the one doing it more than her. And so it just was weird. Yeah, it was just weird. I think it was something else, but whatever.
It's getting jealous of us, but okay.
And then the other friend, it just was a lot going on in her life. So she had more of a explanation than the other person. Even if what you told me wasn't the truth, you get a pass.
Yeah.
But the other one, no, we'll never be friends again. I don't hate her, but I don't want somebody in my life that's just kind of problematic.
I'm curious, Ashley, though, because you're somebody that kind of like, not that you don't care, but like you're kind of like, if I don't get invited, I don't get invited. If I do, I do. Like, so what would you feel if somebody did that to you or invited you to half the wedding or?
It depends. Like I said, if it depends, the half the wedding thing depends on the level of our friendship. If it's a coworker, that's fine.
But you're going.
Yeah, I'll go. If it's like a friend, I feel like I have a lot of friends.
Waste of time.
Yeah, I feel like if it's a friend and I don't even get an invite, or if I get half of the invite, I'm gonna feel some type of way.
But I don't see you
would
cutting people off.
No, I'm not really a cutter people offer kind of person. But yeah, no.
Yes, you should be.
I mean, I'm more so. It's more so. I don't like cut you off. It's more so like gradually exiting, like a walk away, like silent.
We need to sharpen your scissors.
I personally, if it was a coworker, I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
If you're not going to invite me to the whole thing, I'm not going. If it's a friend, yeah, my feelings would be hurt.
But why? Sure. But if they're just a coworker, I mean,
because to me,
half of a wedding.
You go to the cabin for a whole weekend for coworkers.
Yeah, so for you, I get that maybe.
You're not gonna halfway include me. You either fuck with me or you don't.
But it's not.
It's a coworker.
Yeah, it's not that serious.
I'll go to the cabin, but you in my eyes, but you're trying to have a relationship with me.
Yeah, but okay, you're still in that phase, and they're getting married, and they're like, I want you to be a part of the ceremony, but I have close friends and family, and they're maxed out.
The friends at my job, like my coworkers that are actually my friends, we actually have like real bonds. So if they're like, I want you to come to my wedding, then I'm gonna come to her wedding.
Yeah.
My thing is,
that's what I'm saying. In her sense, that's
why even have two different things? Like, oh, I'm gonna have 800 people at my ceremony, but 50 at that's stupid.
Weird.
Just whoever's at your ceremony is at your reception. If you can't, if you can't invite outside people, then go out with them on your own on a separate time.
I want people that are coming to my wedding, whether I like consider you like a real friend or not. Like, I want you to experience the whole thing.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's your choice if you don't want to come.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the whole. I'm going to keep it like a solid count either way it goes. I would never do a half thing, but if it got presented to me, depending on our thing, then I would still go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal at all. I mean, like I said, if it was a friend and I thought that we're friends and I'm like, why am I only being included to half? Then I'm not going to go.
I would feel bad myself to even just present that to somebody.
Not me. I think it's very fair.
Especially in the wedding world, it's so expensive. Like, look, girl.
I think it's very fair because I have family that I wouldn't even invite, like family. So I think it's very fair. If I have an open, of course, then I'll be able to send that invite to people. And if I do, and then the rest is closed, I'll be like, unfortunately, we have a very tight ship for the rest of the thing. But I would love for you to be there for this. Like,
right, and half the time they're eating your food, don't even come say hi to you, don't do a dance with you, and then it's like, now I'm paying for your meal. And then it's like, you don't even, and they don't even have wedding gifts. So people don't even bring wedding gifts anymore. And you ain't gonna buy me a gift. You gonna just eat a meal. Like,
yeah, I definitely don't think it's a big deal.
Cute. Like,
I do think it should be more selective.
But I'm just saying that's why. But that's why I'm saying I can understand the whole split thing. Like, I can understand it.
I think for me, it's not even about. It's like I don't know. I just don't think it's a big deal.
I'm being selective with both, so whoever's coming to my ceremony is coming to my reception.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
the same.
splitting whatever up, and I'm not having a big wedding. So
I mean, I feel like if you don't have to split up, don't. Yeah. But I feel like if you have a lot of people to invite and you have to have a small thing, I'm not going to only invite a small to both. If I can do everybody for one and not everybody for the other, then that's what it is.
But I think from the tweet, if that's a friend that you can call, like, I'm only invited to the ceremony. Like, if that's somebody you can pick up the phone and call, that's clearly your friend. But I'm clearly not your friend if I'm not going to both. So we don't need to be friends
sense, and she should have.
But I don't have any friends that I'm not close enough with like that. Like, I have my couple of people, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have anybody in my life that I'd be like, hey, you can come to this part, but not this part.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me then.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of those motherfuckers. A lot.
You don't want them there at all. Yeah.
Why not? If it's open, I don't understand the problem. Yeah. If I have a part that I can invite people who I don't talk to on a day-to-day basis, but I care, like, oh, do you want to be there? I know you've seen me and Marvin through this stuff, and whatever the case may be, you come to the part that you can come to. There's plenty of people in my life who I don't talk to on a day-to-day, that I'm not besties with, that don't know all my business, but we have some type of relationship there. Mm-hmm. And that's what I would consider coworkers, like she said. Like, if I have coworkers, like she has friends at work that she's cool with at work. So, no, they're not going to come to the part that I have to pay for and the part that I have to be intimate for and the part that has to be, like, let loose to. No, I don't know those people like that. But we're cool at work, and you've seen me plan this wedding for the last year because I'm here every day or whatever the case may be. Yeah, come through if you want.
Or like even the distant family members, like, Mom, do I really got to invite grandpa's sister and their kids? Like, really?
Yeah, then come to the
ceremony, please. Like, I don't have to have them to the reception.
Yeah. Plus, they're old. They probably don't even want to go. So why pay for that plate? Like, they're gonna be tired.
We're gonna have open bar.
I think it's a smart thing to do.
I definitely get it.
I think it's a smart thing to do. I think it's a smart thing to do if the dynamic of your relationships can work. Like, I'm like in that situation, if it was a friend, like, I'm not gonna invite Lana and Lay to half the wedding. Yeah, like, I'm not doing that.
She's probably gonna record it.
Just leave.
But I feel like with you and Ashley, it's the same. With me and Melanie, it's the same. But because you guys have things that you guys do, just invite like everybody to. We would invite more specific people.
And it's funny because I feel like it's not. I feel like you guys invite the randomest motherfuckers to your birthdays. Like, I just be like, it has to be like your family and their friends and their girlfriends. Like, what? Like, and then it'd be like, oh, well, she invited me to her birthday 3 years ago. I have to invite her to my birthday this year. Like, it'd be the randomest people at y'all's places.
But I wouldn't invite them to, it's funny because I did do the half thing that time. But it's not a wedding.
Okay.
It's not a wedding.
That's heck of funny.
Anyways, next question.
Do you guys have any questions? Oh, shit. Or any topics that you wanted to get into?
Let off your chest.
Any questions for us?
Not that I could think of. I just like bouncing off of.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because I thought that tweet was gonna go another way. So kind of caveat to that, as parents, you two are thinking like moms, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like I see a lot of parents complaining when they get invited to weddings, but then the invite they say no kids allowed.
I was gonna bring that up.
Like, how do you guys feel about?
like,
would you turn a wedding or a reception down if you said you couldn't bring your kids?
So me and T just had this conversation.
Yeah, because Sabrina asked me, would I allow kids at my wedding, and I said.
Because her kids are our godchildren.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
But I know a lot of people that I know have kids or are just gonna have kids by the time I get fucking married.
Right.
So, and I'm gonna have kids. So I'm like, I don't mind them being at the ceremony, but the reception, I feel like it's up to you if you want to bring them or
like
not.
there's an age
but hey, it's gonna be
Under 5. No.
Goodbye.
Even that's iffy sometimes.
So
Yeah,
the
I don't
reason I had
know.
originally asked Tiana the question, this is kind of like a different direction than what we're going, but was because I had read a tweet and it was basically shitting on the idea of no kids allowed at weddings. Like they were saying that is so inappropriate. It's absolutely disgusting. The whole union of marriage is to procreate. The whole union of marriage is to create a family. And so if you're going into it automatically being like, no kids allowed, like not what is the point, but what is the point? Like we're coming together to create legacy and to bring generations and to honor our kids and for kids to honor their parents and for us to like basically have a village. And then you're to be like, oh, but they can't come to the wedding.
Yeah,
they
that
can't
makes
come
no sense to me.
So to me, it actually changed my perspective, and I do kind of go more that route where, like, if I were to have a wedding, I think that we place too much materialistic on, and that's why I said the comment about courthouse, because I truly believe fuck weddings. Like, I think it's all about attention. It's all about fucking likes. It's aesthetics. Like it's overdone for what?
Yeah.
So it's like it's taking away from the idea of marriage.
Shayla feels away.
Right. I was like,
Freshly married.
It's taking away from the idea of what a marriage is truly about, and that's union and family, and for some, God. Like, so I do think that I would not necessarily turn down the invite if it said no kids, because I love weddings. I love love. I love
weddings,
unions.
too.
Yeah.
So I
definitely
wouldn't
gonna-
necessarily turn it down, and I wouldn't judge them for choosing that, because this is a new perspective for me. So I haven't totally been like one-sided yet, but I do think it was something that made me think like, wow, like
That
that's
makes sense, but at the same time, if I'm paying all this fucking money, like your little gremlins aren't about to fuck my shit up. And we're here to have a fucking blast.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go make a baby after this, and then
Period.
and then we can talk about that. But I mean, I get what you're saying, but that's another reason why
Yeah.
I'm not having a wedding. I'm not dealing with that shit. No, absolutely not.
I mean, either way, I don't care the no kids and have kids, but majority of the time, if you have an open invite for the whole family, the parents aren't going to want the kids to go anyway. I know I wouldn't. I'm
that's
finding
why,
a babysitter.
Yeah, I
so-
think that's why I'm kind of like, because I want to, if I'm going to celebrate the union of my bestie or whoever it is, it's like I want to let loose. I want to be able to. So I don't want to just sit here and chase around kids all day. Mine are a little bit older, so I just throw them their iPads and we'd be good to go. But in reality, I probably would get babysitters anyways. So that's why I'm not against the idea of no kids, because half the people don't want to bring their kids anyways.
Right.
But I think it's just having that like on the invitation that it does rub a lot of parents the wrong way.
Yeah.
And some parents are like, well, if my kids can't go, I can't go, which I don't necessarily
That's kind of
agree
like,
with. But
that's kind of weird. But
yeah, I think they try to make a point when they say things like
Right.
that.
You're not
but
making
it's I don't know. It's kind of one of those things that's like it's. I'm on both sides of that one, and I'm rarely on both sides of fences. But that one, I think I can.
And it's like, if you
understand
know your
both.
kid and everyone knows their kid is like disruptive and crazy, don't bring them.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
understand, like,
You know your child.
You
know
don't
your
want to have a
child,
baby
like-
in the ceremony, and they're like,
And then if you know
Yeah.
you know it's feeding time, the baby's gonna
No.
cry as soon
See,
as she says
my
I do.
cousin-
Walk away.
You're not even allowed to come to my wedding because I know you ain't got a babysitter and none of your kids are allowed. So
but I feel
She's
like
a reception only.
see, like that? No, they're not even allowed at that.
I feel like I feel like people have destructive kids, and yes, they know their kids, and they still fucking bring them
And
places.
yeah, they
don't give a fuck.
They do not give a fuck.
I don't give a
They don't
fuck.
care.
I've never heard a parent be like, "My kid's so destructive. No, I'm not gonna bring them."
I mean, I will say like
No.
there's those kids that have their one days, and it happens to be the day that they're not supposed to have that day. Because like when we took our kids to Disneyland, my kids are pretty good kids in public for the most part. They like to run around and shit, but for the most part, they're pretty good kids. So when we go to Disneyland, my daughter wants to scream and cry in every line and every ride, and I'm like, today of all days, child. Like, so I mean, there's those two. So it's
a hit or miss, but
which is scary, and I think that's why most people say no kids, because it's like, this is supposed to go smooth. We did put a lot of money into this, and I get that, but then I get the other side too. So it's one of those.
I definitely
things.
get both sides.
that poor flower girl ring bear's gonna be all alone.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing
Like after this, you gotta leave.
Okay, bye. Babysitting Piggy
We're going to Hawaii.
So do you non-kidders want kids?
Yes,
I do.
Maybe.
I do.
I do.
I want at least one. 2 is like my max. Yeah.
2 is like a compromise, huh?
2 is like, okay, you better hurry up because these tubes is getting tired. And it'd have to be back to back too. So
You're gonna do 2 under 2?
Yeah.
I would have to at my age.
I
Yeah,
can't wait to see you gotta be a mom, bruh.
She's only saying that because she knows we're gonna raise them.
exactly. So
Yeah, she told me she's gonna have the baby and then drop it off to me.
yeah,
She told me that.
I'm gonna honk the horn. Beep beep. Bye.
She thinks that's how.
I said
Yeah.
that to my mom too. Oh, it's happening for sure to my mom. I already told her.
Yeah.
She's like, you can't just leave. Yes, I can. What do you mean?
You know what though? I feel like nowadays there's this thing where a lot of people ask you like, do you want kids more than do you want to be married? Like I feel like
Yeah, definitely.
they push
I don't want kids
the
unless
idea
I'm
of the
married.
kids.
100%.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you don't have kids? Where's your kids? But nobody's really asking
I'm like, well,
about marriage.
I don't have a ring either there, so
Yeah.
therefore no
Oh,
kids.
I think asking people like are you having kids, or
Do you want
why
kids?
don't you have any kids, and asking people why you aren't married are pretty rude questions, because
They are.
like we don't know what people are dealing with to get those things. But I do think that we do get the kid question a lot more than the marriage question, and that's a product of the failing environment.
But even if you are together in a relationship with someone, they still ask first, like, "Oh, does he want kids? Are you guys gonna have kids?" Like, first of all, does he want to get married?
My parents are the opposite. So when people ask my mom, like, "Oh, you don't want to be a grandma?" He's like, "No, my son just got married, and my other 2 aren't married, so no." Like, no. Yeah. So I already know if I had a kid and I wasn't married, my parents would be disappointed in me. I mean, they'd get over it because they have to, but I know that it would be a disappointment.
Yeah.
Why do you think that women don't want kids? Why do you think there are women that don't want kids? Like, what do you think is causing women to not want kids?
Are they married or not married?
Just in general. Just more in this generation than in others previous.
Selfish.
Yeah, work and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's usually
Like they want a career more
because
than
you don't see the stay-at-home wives saying that they don't want kids. If they do, then that's kind of weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're a stay-at-home wife,
A
you
lot
don't
of
want no
people
kids.
have this idea that you can't live your life with a kid. Like, I can't travel, I can't go out with friends, I can't do this.
And you would think that would come more from men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of women's like, I'm not having a kid because I can't travel. Well, look, and I have a passport, we're traveling, so.
And that guys that I met in Target, they already got a bunch of kids, but he was like, yeah, no, she can get some more. He was like, until I turn 35, yeah, she can have as many as she wants. I was like,
And he's under 35?
Like I said, if he got cousins or brothers, call me.
Shoot.
She's gonna send him the episode. Got a friend that needs a brother. But yeah, I think that women are being very selfish about kids. I think.
I mean, obviously, if you can't have them,
Well,
then
yeah,
that's not your fault.
obviously, yeah.
But you can adopt.
Yeah, I mean there are other things that women can do if they can't, but I'm very sympathetic to the women who can't, because that is been a problem as long as humanity, that there are infertile women. But where I was going with that was
we're also scared.
Very.
Yeah.
Because
scary.
being
It
pregnant and
terrifies
pushing
me.
out a baby is fucking
Is
terrifying.
that what you're scared of, or
Yes.
motherhood?
Both.
All of it.
All of it. I have to raise a child. I can.
I see how fucking stressed y'all be, and y'all get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was gonna say, like, for me having kids, I'm just trying to wait until I feel like I'm self-sufficient enough to be able to even take care of a second person, because that's my biggest
Financially or mentally?
both emotionally,
Yeah.
financially, mentally, because like I know my parents had a lot of trauma that they did not work out, and then they kind of brought me into that, and so now I'm just like super cautious because I just don't even want. And then but I also was raised on love as well, and like I grew up having pretty much everything I needed, so I want to be able to provide that for my kid too. So So it's the mental and the financial for sure.
And the spouse. Like,
I
nobody
was
wants to
just
be a
about
baby
say,
mama.
The support. Like, if
Yeah.
I don't have the right partner, I'm not raising
yeah.
a child.
Yeah,
putting myself
it's-
in.
If I'm a baby mama,
I would fucking kill myself.
I can't.
there's two
Cannot be
things
me.
that I
Cannot
like
be me.
literally like refuse. I never want to go to jail, and I never want to be a baby mama.
Where did jail come
Yeah.
from?
Right, jail.
It's just something that traumatizes me. Like, can you imagine me in jail? Like, ew.
Bitch.
That is hilarious.
Like, I'm terrified to
Oh
go
my
to prison.
god.
You mean orange though, ain't that your color?
I was doing fine this whole episode, not saying bitch, but bitch. But yeah, those are the two things. Like, being a baby mama, like, terrifies me because I know that you could leave me at any point. I'm about to raise this baby by myself.
What if you have a good baby daddy?
No. Then we should be together.
I need a better husband.
Right. Why aren't we married?
If we're like really a team and bruh,
No. There's not,
I think their problem too is that if they had a good relationship, a co-parenting relationship, they would want to be with him.
yeah.
Like if he's a good dad and he's doing what he needs to do,
And
they're
I'm
gonna
like,
be
why
like,
we not
then be
together?
with
I
him.
cannot-
Like,
I
what's not
cannot-
clicking?
Maybe he's a cheater and you don't want to be with him because you don't trust him, but he's a good dad.
Then why did I have a baby with you?
Accident.
I would probably.
Well, we don't
know.
make those
We'd have to work it out
mistakes, so.
then, because
Yeah.
I just can't. I don't know. That's failure. I don't like that.
Yeah, no. We don't like quitters.
I don't like that.
Like quitters.
Yeah, I'm not leaving. We're stuck for life.
Yeah. So like if I'm in a relationship and I get pregnant, are you getting on your knee?
Immediately.
She shows him
So
the
when did
test.
you want to
By
go
the
to
way,
the
this is what
courthouse?
kind of ring I
I
want.
have something available next week and the week after. Did you want to pick what day?
Well, it works better with your work
I
schedule.
could do just a plain band, you know. My mom has my grandma's old ring. I could use that for now.
We
Save
can
a little
upgrade in
money.
like 5 or 10
Like
years.
I got plans. So
Right.
whatever you're trying to have excuses for.
He's still
baby, I
processing
got
she's
the
pregnant.
answer.
I'm a dad and a husband now. What the fuck?
Yay!
Welcome to the
Exactly.
family, babe.
Bingo! And then the whole family jumps up. Surprise! Balloons and confetti.
Oh my god.
He's like,
Talk about traumatized. He's gonna be scared.
that's
so funny.
Well, you shouldn't have been scared when you were dipping inside of me raw.
Dipping that thing.
Lord have mercy.
Dipping your raw carrot inside of my ranch.
Ew.
Oh, that was so cringe.
You're
Why? Please don't reel that. 'cause
Raw
that's disgusting.
my god.
Orange is the new black, though. That was funny. Okay, last question. In the dating marketplace, who do we think is having a harder time finding? And do we think men are having a harder time finding, or women having a harder time finding? Or is it
for
equal?
Sure. Women. Men.
Hands down, women are having a harder time.
Are men even really looking?
No.
I feel like a man can have a hard time, but it's like the men that. I don't want to say that don't have money, but basically, or not even that, because I know a man that is having, or men that are having problems, but they're just selfish. They're stingy. So that's the thing. Because if you want it, you can get it. It may not be based off of like love, but you can get a girlfriend if you want.
You know what? Come at you with the facts.
Yeah.
The percentage. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So do men friend zone women, or do women friend zone men?
Women friends
I
on
think
men.
we friend zone men.
So women have men in their pocket that they can be with.
But
Men don't.
I feel like they do.
You think men friend zone women?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like right now what's going on is like
Maybe it's just the Bay Area.
it's damn near the West Coast, but I also feel like a lot of people want people that don't want them.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of like the good guys, quote unquote good guys, they want the bad girls
Yeah.
that don't want them, and then like the good girls want the bad boys that don't give them any emotional
They like the
anything,
chase.
any emotional.
Yeah.
It's an
Chase.
ego thing.
Yeah.
You always want what you can't have.
So
I
everybody
just-
got somebody in their back pocket.
yeah.
Oh no. I got my little baby right here in the front.
Oh my god.
Hey,
So
nah, little baby in the front pocket.
on like on Tinder and dating websites, they say that men swipe, what is it, right? To match, they swipe right like 80% of the time. And women swipe right 5% of the time.
How the hell did you get up here?
Oh, we have a special guest.
But
so-
is that because of, like you said earlier, that men want sex like girls want
It's
attention?
because men know that they're least likely to be picked, so they just swipe on more to see who's gonna pick me.
Yeah. So
Who's
they're the
gonna pick me.
pick-me's.
So the men are having harder time finding women because women are so picky. So
Yeah.
it's really that men have harder time finding women. Women have hard time finding men because of their own choices.
Yeah.
So women can pick and can find a man and can marry a man and can have a man in their early 20s if they wanted it, and they were able to find a good man and say, like, I might not be fully physically attracted to him right now, or he might be broke, but I know that he's on his way to millions, or you know, he's a good guy, he's going to be a good father, he's going to take care of us, he's going to provide for us, or you know, he's going to make sure all of this. They could have had that.
Yeah.
They didn't want those men.
I mean, I definitely think that we stand in our own ways.
Men,
for sure.
though, like I said, they're the ones looking for the good women that aren't gonna, you know, divorce them, aren't gonna cheat on them, aren't gonna have 1,000 bodies, aren't gonna have sex work and put their pictures up. So because of the, you know, the feminist movement, women being more sexually liberated and women wanting to be bosses and wanting to control relationships, men are having harder time finding women that they want to marry and have traditional families and have the submissive wife. So at the end of the day, men do have harder time finding the wife than the woman has, but the woman is choosing to have a harder time finding.
Yeah, we're making it harder for ourselves.
Facts. Do you guys think that you ever like pass up on a good guy and you regret it?
No.
I don't either. I can't think of anybody.
Not in my lifetime, at least.
That's funny because I feel like I can probably name 5 for every single one of you.
What? That have gotten at me and I turned them down?
Not necessarily like pursued you, but would have made you a wife and like worked hard and had kids by.
Yeah,
definitely.
You're definitely telling me this when we cut off the air because I'm
I'm not saying that I know them by name, by personality, but I'm saying in your life, I'm sure that we can go down the line and I'm sure we can pick out 5 of them. Because even me, 5, and I would be amiss to say that I'm only saying that for them. It would be for every single woman. And I say that because I'm somebody who always dated with purpose. And when I dated men, I could have married almost everyone that I actually like dated. There would be issues with a couple of them, but they would have all made me a wife. I didn't pick them. I picked somebody who made me a wife, but it wasn't. There were plenty of them.
I got one in mind.
But
Just
like,
one.
but also like at what
Maybe
cost? Because yeah, I can name a few guys who probably would have made me a wife.
Yeah.
Would I have been happy with that particular person? No.
But
okay,
doesn't
mean that it couldn't
so with that being said, like at what cost? Like what is making you unhappy?
Well, that's the thing. So it depends on each individual.
Yeah, but
There's
I'm saying
always
like
something about him or his situation that I didn't feel worked with me or my lifestyle.
How nitpicky are you being in those situations?
I am very picky.
So that's but I'm saying that's what I'm saying is like I do think that we would these people would have made us a wife and we would have been happy and had healthy relationships had we been able to put those nitpicky things aside. That's what I'm saying. So like
Maybe 3.
and it's going up and it's going up and it's going up and it's going up.
Thinking.
You said good guys.
Yes.
So
I'm not saying that there aren't men. What I'm saying is that there are men that would have made you wives 10 years ago had you with your preference aside.
Yeah, that's why I went up.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like but that's when I was thinking about good guys.
Yeah.
Like the people that I've dealt with weren't good guys. So
Yeah, you picked the wrong one.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, with those 3 guys in mind, there's only one that I could be like, oh, the good one got away, in a sense.
Yeah, but it's again, we're keep bringing this back to us and our preference and what we're thinking. I'm saying all that shit aside, you could have had a good husband that would provide for you, that would love you, that would be loyal to you.
Let's back down to 2.
And your preference aside, you would have been a happy wife laid on your back with your kids. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm obviously like, okay, maybe he was too short. Okay, he didn't make enough money. Okay, he was crybaby. Okay, he was saying this and saying that. Like we could nitpick all day and been like, that wouldn't have worked out. No, it would have if you put that shit to the side.
Yeah, so 2. That I know of for sure.
I'm just saying.
That crossed my path, at least. Now, if I never spoke to you, or maybe we were just in a room together and you didn't And it was like, oh, he's a good guy. I just didn't be like, oh, he's a prospect. But then, yeah, but.
So you're not shooting shots?
Right.
So nobody else's numbers of those went up?
Wait, what's the exact question?
It's just, were there guys that would have probably made you a wife?
Yes.
Whether or not you liked them or
Yeah.
you would have been happy.
Yeah, for sure. I was in like a long-term relationship and I walked away from it when I was really young. And I was like, I just need to find myself.
Oh my God.
Bitch, please.
Is he married now?
He's not married. He has a baby mama now.
We're like,
And it's funny because I feel like if I ever leave a guy and it just wasn't working out for whatever reason, they always just go have a kid. And I'm like, ooh, dodge that bullet, you know? But he was a really good guy. And honestly, I probably would have been married with probably 2 kids by now had I just sat down somewhere. But I just had to go see for myself.
See, the guy that you're saying or the guys that had the kids, it sounds like they could have been making these women their wives, but those women were just like, well, let me get a baby so I can trap this good guy or whatever. And then could be. You never know.
That it's kind of giving that. So you never know. But yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. They say 1 of 3 men under the age of 30 are virgins or sexless in the last year. So there's a lot of men out here that would love to be with women and committed
They're
relationships.
just not in the Bay Area.
Come on down to the Bay.
Or they're just not on your guys' radars.
Lord.
There's plenty of men we walk by every
Or
single
I'm just
day
not
that
on their
you're
radar.
I work
blind
from home,
to.
so I don't really walk past a lot of men.
You gotta start going to Target more often.
Because that man, but he's already taken, guys. So look,
You are too.
Exactly. So shut the fuck up about it. Damn.
Wait, he worked at Target or
No.
God damn. Can't stand it.
But yeah, I do think men have. I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily say harder. I think it's very hard for both. But I think that women could have been older women that are still single could have been wifed up a long time ago. Had the standard for that
it's
been
both
different.
for hard. It's just women make it hard.
Yeah.
Men don't make it hard for
harder.
themselves,
Yeah.
except for when they're assholes. But that's the men that be menning.
There's the masculinity in them.
That's that toxic masculinity they talk
specifically
about.
born towards the end of the year.
That's a toxic masculinity I can kind of understand. You're an asshole because you're masculine.
Maybe.
Not the one that they wanted to be. So.
Any other questions, guys? T?
No, I'm
You have
good.
anything? Mel, you have anything? Nope. Leslie?
I don't think so.
Anything? We can wrap this up. This was great, guys.
I enjoyed both of you guys.
Yes. I would love to have you guys back.
Yes, I would. I really would.
Yes.
You know, I'm here anyways. So. I'll be here.
Or Costco, right?
Or Costco.
It's been great. And thank you guys so much for having us. And did you guys want to shout out anything or give your business information or your tags? Go ahead.
Yes, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Beauty Beyond Jazz with 2 Z's. I also have a YouTube channel, so I post vlogs of me traveling, also me going to work and inventory and things like that. I am a licensed esthetician. I'm based out of Brentwood, California. I do facials, waxing, makeup, everything. So yeah, check me out.
Boss babe.
You can find me on Instagram at the Leslie Bird. I am a professional belly dancer. I do weddings, parties, events, celebrations, anything. So I am available for hire. So just DM me.
Yay. Thank you guys so much for coming. It's been an honor.
Gracias.
I loved your takes.
For real.
Real.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.